Hello, everybody. It is finals day here at AnimEVO 2020 Online Edition. We have whittled down our 256 players to the top 8. And the top 8 will be playing 2 matches to see who makes it to the final table, the top 4. And then the top 4, they'll be playing 2 matches at the final table to see who is our Mahjong sole victor. At the beginning of the tournament here, I am joined with Frenetic. Say hi.
Yo, what up? This is the F-Man coming at you here in top 8. We're excited to give you a commentary on semifinals.
And DDR Dan.
Hello, this is DDR Dan.
Hey, alright. So, let's take a look at the standings we currently have here. These are seeded by the scores that the players had in top 32. So we've got 1st, 4th, 5th, and 8th in one table, and we've got 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th in the other table. This stream will be watching the 2367 table and Pandaficer. You can see the link to that stream there. We'll be watching the other table. So what do you guys think so far about these tables?
Well, we've got a lot of great stories from the players that have made it to top 8. We have Firis, seated at number 7. I've heard that this is their last Mahjong match. They are going to retire after this tournament. For whatever reason, I don't know, but they are going to be said that they are retiring. Also, in our table that we're going to watching, we have Aggro, who made a heroic comeback. They were actually, what were they minus at, Tipzntrix? Like minus 20 something?
They were about minus 20, but the players on their table, there were 2 of them at plus 50 something.
And it sounds like Aggro was able to send both of them to the Shadow Realm, feed off their points, and launch themselves into a very healthy 6th place from being negative. And I want to say that this is what Mahjong is. You can fight your way back and make a heroic comeback. And the chips are down, but as long as you have a tile and a seat at the table, you can make it.
And I gotta say, we do have one clip because unfortunately we did not catch some of Aggro's amazing comeback. But going through the replays, we managed to dig up one of Aggro's insane hands from the previous round, the round of 32. And so we're going to show it to you now, here with fresh commentary. I think it's their first time seeing it as well, so let's give it a whirl.
All right, I'm ready to go. Okay, so, all right, where's the... Are you seeing the screen, DDR Dan, or?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, you go ahead and take the lead on this one.
Okay.
I'll...
I was gonna say, right now, Aggro's hand didn't look that great. It had 2 Dora, but now it has 3 Dora, so it's a pretty easy Mongon. So that's pretty big. It would be 12,000 points as dealer. And it's pretty close to being complete as well. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, sitting pretty good hand, like a Mongon hand. They are in dealer. Aggro's in dealer, so yeah, probably good, pretty 12,000 point hand if they can complete it. But they don't really have a Yaku here yet, right? Oh,
Khan of the Dora.
Khan of the Dora. Now, I guess I need to change my. So that's a close con. They still can call Ricci.
And if you notice, sorta Kata on the left has 4 of the new Dora, so if they wanted to con that, they have a chance. But it's just fighting it. There's the reach. Though. Oh, it is the Ipatsu. So it's a Hanuman and 2 Ura for a Baimon.
And that's dealer Baimon. Normally would only be
Yeah.
what, 18,000?
Yeah.
But
or-
since it's a
yeah.
but since it's the dealer, right? Or 16, or was it 16?
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
Okay. Huge win for Aggro.
So the funny thing is, they were so far behind that even with that win, they weren't in a qualifying position yet, or they weren't in a position to be top overall. So they still had to get more points, like quite a bit more.
Yeah. Like this is pretty huge, right? So this is like plus, let's see, only plus 20 something, right?
Yeah.
If they were ending with this score, right?
Yeah.
And that would only give them like maybe a little bit like zeroed out, right?
Yeah. So that was like the start of the comeback, but even then they still needed more.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, but they're still pretty far behind. They've maybe zeroed themselves out. And the cutoff was quite a bit, right?
Yeah, you had, they were about 70 or 80 points behind the top place. So,
Wow.
Yep, that's right. I think the actual result, I think Jay and I were calculating it on stream when we came to the game. It was about 76.6.
Wow. That's crazy. So that translates to at least what, 100,000 points? Like they'd have to get 100,000 points in a game?
I think it's easier to look at the difference between the players. So
I
like,
see.
they're about 30,000 points ahead of second, so that's like 30 points, and then the place is 10 points, so they're about 40 points right now above second, but they need like plus 77 or whatever it was.
That's right.
So that's like another 30,000 points that they need, or they need the other people to fall down some places that they're competing with.
Thank you for your again. That makes sense. The
So
Okaki reach.
Yeah.
Probably because they have the 2 Dora, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna fight.
Friends reaching.
Tetrapod looks like they were just salty. It's like, I'm just salty, and I'm gonna reach on a Champon weight for 9. And
Yeah. Well, there were so many reach sticks in the middle that they got a lot more points from that hand.
yeah,
Even
almost
then.
like a little over double, right? Like
Yeah.
3 just for 26. So very good.
And probably the bigger thing is they got to keep their dealer turn, so they have more chance to rack up the points they need.
Yeah, they're beastin'. It's the Homba is 4, so they've Renshined, or at least 4 times. They've won 4 times a year, right?
Yeah.
Look at this magic that's happening for Aggro, befitting their name, right?
They've got a Pinfu hand here.
Yeah. All right, they just go Ricci, early Ricci, two-sided way. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, they caught Sumo. They draw on the first one for another. Wow, that's so blessed. And so what would have been like a small hand if they just like got the 6, right?
Yeah.
It would have just been Pinfu Ricci.
Yeah.
Blows up to a 12. That's the power of Ricci.
Yeah. And right now they're like right at where they need to be. So, they're like 56 points ahead of second, and then the place would be 10 points, so they're 66 points ahead. But they still need another 10, I guess.
Yeah, because that only puts them at 40. So they even need more points.
Yeah. So when you think about it that way, it's even crazier to think that they got all the way there.
Wow, that is nuts. Buster's like, I'm just done with this. Like, I'm gonna take a 1,000 point hand. I don't have any Dora. Just like end the massacring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Aggro's hand isn't developing as well as it did the last time. Well, that's a nice draw. Kind of gets another melt, but is holding. They're probably going to start the green now. No, they don't. They keep it. Maybe keep it as a safe tile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now it comes. Now they're like, okay. So this is like a Tanyao.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now it could be Pinfu.
yeah. If they draw that 5, do they draw the blessed 5? Oh no, maybe that's why they should have kept it. Oh. No, but see, the thing is, you can't keep that. If it's gonna take you, you just got to get rid of it and move forward. You know, because they can call and maybe get to Tenpai and still keep their dealer too. For this.
Yeah.
That was an interesting discard.
Yeah.
Did you think they were gonna get the 5
Hmm.
from efficiency? Okay.
Yeah.
Then they discard the 2.
So this call is just to get Tenpai and hold the dealer turn.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no! That was actually that would have won if they had been closed, but
Yeah.
they had
They
to
had no
discard.
Yaku.
I guess they could have discarded the 5, but feeling that's weird. You know, that's kind of weird too. Like, or the
They also-
6.
They could have discarded the 9 and tried to get all simples, maybe. That would make sense as well, I think.
So Aggro's like, okay, I didn't get to Temp. Well, they did get to Tenpai, but dealt in. So
How do you think he was feeling at this time? Because, like, you've got this rush because you just won a huge amount of points, but you still don't actually have enough. So it's like, are you happy and excited, or are you like disappointed that you didn't get quite enough? Or
That's a good point that you have there, D or Dan. Like, it's like you're there, you're almost there, but it's like getting to you're climbing a mountain and you get to like maybe the mid summit, and then you're like, okay, do I push for more? Okay, the Buster deals into Ipots.
Buster's one of the top 2 at this point, so this was helpful for Aggro to have a better chance.
Because Budster's getting driven down.
Yeah.
And it's lowering the ceiling, possibly?
Yeah, so it's easier to get first.
Yep. All right. So that is the majority of Aggro's comeback. At this time, I think it was about East 4 where were able to tune into the rest of Aggro's match. I will go back here because the games are getting ready to begin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
We are timely.
ladies, are you ready to rumble?
So there are only 2 tables this tournament. Well, this day.
This day.
Yeah. There were many tables in the tournament.
There were many tables, and we are down to the final 2. I'm excited. I heard there was some really great matches. We did see some great matches yesterday, and I think they're only going to get better. We've kind of gotten the cream of the crop. So on one hand, we'll have skill, very experienced players playing Mahjong, and then we'll have the people that have flow, who have Lady Luck on their side. Mahjong luck, the Nagare, and we'll see which will win.
Yeah, I think they say it's better to be lucky than good, so.
And I think we have to remember, I think that this also goes for the players, that Mahjong is a game of luck as well. So, and mental fortitude. how you deal with that luck factor. RNGesus, some people say in like other communities such as the speedrunning community. So it's kind of what gives the game its life. So I think if Mahjong didn't have that luck-based, the RNGesus, so to speak, I don't think Mahjong would really have the soul. Mahjong soul.
You made a good point though, because it's very easy to get frustrated when you get unlucky, and then that can cause you to either like give up or start going on tilt and making bad decisions that you wouldn't normally make. So sometimes it's also just about how you can handle your mental state and get over the bad luck and take advantage of the good luck.
I think that's very true because Mahjong is a journey. Learning and playing Mahjong has been a great journey. I think it's what keeps me coming back. Is it's almost you can, when you play Mahjong, it's like a way of just maybe switching to another place where, you know, life and its troubles, you can go to another dimension that has its own trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And, forget about life for a while, and then what happens is you start to not like Mahjong because you have a run of bad luck, and then you go back to life and you're like, hey, at least it's not as bad as Mahjong here.
Yeah.
But seriously, folks, Mahjong is a great game. I'm really I don't know if you all know this, but DDR Dan and I attended EVO some years back, and we played Mahjong in one of the hotel rooms, and just for fun. We never really thought that this would really actually come to EVO. So, all right, I guess this is the first game.
Yeah.
Let's go take it away. So, we have Kitty Loaf from the Seattle Ricci Mahjong Club, I believe. And they're starting off with a bang, just kind of like they have a number of honor tiles that they're hoping to maybe double up and maybe keep their dealership. So, but as you can see, the white dragons in the east have come out, so they just tossed these. Aggro with 2 Dora, befitting their name. And then we have Fierce right across, some good shapes. Let's see what's happening with that. And it looks like Lutang Forever also has some good shapes as well.
Good draw too.
Yes, just as we speak. You're right, kind of completing that group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Aggro goes for it. So Ricci's first to act, first row, kind of waiting on Kanchan wait on that 3 Mon, but has 2 shiny Dora. So according to Ricci Book 1, which all of you should be reading, that's like a good, condition to reach.
Yeah, it's not the best weight, but it's a good reach, and it's a big hand to win with the 2 Dora, so it'd be a nice way to start things off. Some of the other hands look pretty nice in their shape, but the players might be folding or playing defensively against the early reach. That 6 of characters discard could convince someone to discard the 3 of characters because of the Suji idea. So then if people run out of safe tiles, the 3 of characters is a tile that kind of looks safe now. So,
what do you think of post-Suji discards as Suji? Do you think it gives good Suji information?
Yeah,
or
usually it's better. It's pretty good. Like, it's just the tiles around the reach discard that you don't want to pay too much attention to for Suji, but for the ones that come after reach, usually it's a little bit better, so that also might get someone to make a mistake. But we also have the dealer in reach, so
yeah, good weight on a 6/9.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why they probably took for it, and also they can get Tanya if the Yasume gets dealt, right?
Yeah,
in the
or
6th month.
Takame is the
Takame.
yeah.
The better weight for you folks
Yep.
at home. So Yasume is the weaker weight. Let's say in that shape it would give you lower hand value, and the Takame is the higher weight. So 6 would give them all simples, Tanya, but if it's the 9, no no Tanyao because there's a terminal tile in that way for you that at home.
Oh, Aggro's gonna strike first.
Oh, is this going to be a repeat? Look at that sumo emoting. All aggro. Aggressive Ricci pays off for aggro. Let's see if that luck, that Nagare, the flow, will take him through this top 8.
So, Kitty Love was so close there, but because they were dealer, they're gonna lose even more points and fall to last for now.
Kitty Loaf. Poor Kitty Loaf. And Aggro is actually coming up with some good draws. Good tiles here. And 2 Dora already.
And another good draw.
And an Ipeko shape? Kitty Loaf might be like going, oh no. So we got Ferris with a Dora and a good shapes too, so we might keep an eye on how their hand is developing. Lutang still has a meld, but still is a little bit further away. Unfortunately, Kitty Loaf, recognizing probably their hand is not that fast, is calling tiles, maybe going for Honitsu if they double up on any of the Yakuhai.
Yeah.
So, but Aggro, if they can combine that 4-5-5-6-6 shape with another 4, then they might have something. But it sounds like that they aren't going to wait and are calling tiles, maybe going for Tanyao, or if they can again double up with those honor tiles for Yakuhai.
Yeah. So that's 2 quick calls. Something I wanted to mention was how Kitty Love is going for a half flush hand that looks really far away, so it kind of looks like it wouldn't work that well, but one thing it allows you to do is you can hold on to all your honor tiles, so if it ends up not working out, you'll have a bunch of save tiles behind, so it's not too much of a risk, and it can be high reward. So sometimes that can be a smart play to do.
So the opening hands where it's very hard to defend because you don't have a lot of tiles, you're able to discard maybe the extra honor tiles if someone reaches earlier.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have maybe a Chinitsu to fight against it, huh? Like if you get lucky with the draws. Looting Forever, though, is going for all triplets with Green Dragon triplet as well. So that's decent value if they can get it. That'll be about 39, and now they're in Tenpai.
Yeah, they're in Tenpai.
6 and 7. 6 dots.
There's a con chance, but I don't think that. No, I don't think that.
Will Aggro switch? Will they deal to 7? They deal into Lutang. Aggro, a little too aggro, but it's kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
That was kind of hard to read. So 52. I'm sorry, not 39, 52, because of the foo values on there. So
no runaway just yet. That's going to keep the scores close.
Yeah. Lutang Forever. Ferris coming off with very good melds, about two away.
Yeah.
Lutang looking like they're having some good shapes as well. Maybe Kitty Loaf going for a fast hand. Probably is just wanting to get, because they're in last, very cognizant of that. Aggro with 1 Dora.
So Fierce decided to discard one of the pairs early and try to go for an all simples hand that'll be a little bit more valuable. So.
What do you think of that? Some people have been talking about Tanyao as being a sickness, like pursuing Tanyao all the time.
Yeah, in this case, I think it's a fine decision to make, especially at the start of a round, and it gives you a chance to get more points as well, and it doesn't hurt your efficiency too much in this case. So that's why I think it's all right.
Thank you for that insight, DDR Dan.
Yeah.
And it works out for them. It gets a bulging shape. They call it nabakakuri in Japanese. And so, in fact, that shape is 2-3-3-4. they can upgrade that shape with a lot of draws, an extra 2, an extra 5, and they are really good for building two-sided weights, Rionman weights.
Right now, it looks like Kitty Loaf is progressing the most with the calls, and now they're 1 away. Everyone else is kind of stuck for the moment and not really getting that helpful draws.
That's true. Fierce is kind of stalled out, almost even looking like to maybe switching to a Chitoitsu, a 7-pair hand instead. They have so many pairs, so... Kitty makes an interesting choice, doesn't break up that 7-6 and goes, instead of keeping that 5-5-7 shade for more efficiency.
Feudus just now got a nice draw, and now he's 1 away as dealer. And potential Pinfu, all simples, and maybe the E-Peiko, and
That's
probably
right.
a reach. So.
Kitty Love probably is going for Toy to add 2 more Han to that hand. No, they can't
No.
because, or maybe. Oh, I see. They might be going for. No, they can't do Sanshoku.
Yeah, they can get Sanchoku.
It looks like they're trying to maybe go for Sanshoku.
Aggro has also gotten 1 away, and now they're Tenpai. It's a 7 bamboo weight, and Feudus just drew it, so he's at risk of discarding it in.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't fit in their hand.
Yeah. If Feudus gets Tenpai, most likely they're gonna push the 7 bamboo and deal in.
Yeah.
So. Oh, but Kitty Loaf is gonna win first.
And we do get the Sanshoku draw.
Yep.
So 2,000.
So the scores get even closer. Yep.
Ooh, it's neck and neck still. Anybody's game here, and we're almost halfway in the game, and no one's really pulling ahead. So.
Yeah. Less than 6,000 points between 4th and 1st. So.
And a Mongon could change that all. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Liu Tang breaks up. I think that's a speed for speed, right?
I'm not sure about that one, just because this one they might be going too hard for all simples or something like that, because it might have made more sense to discard an honor tile, but we'll see how it works out here.
Yeah, that's right. Again, not a big criticism of these players. They might, again, they're playing tournament Mahjong. They're in top 8, a lot of nerves, and maybe they just see something that we don't. So willing to grant them a benefit of the doubt. Not an indictment of the players, just our own play styles here. So.
Kitty Love has the chance for an E-Peiko, and they have a Dora. And potentially, if they get some good draws, they could get all simples. So they could get some value with that hand.
Could be the hand that they are looking for.
Yeah.
Liu Tang's keeping on that E style, maybe thinking that they could pwn that for another 2 Han.
Feudus on the left has some good shapes. Or they have 1 edge weight, but they're 1 away from being ready.
Sometimes that's all you need is to get to Ricci. Aggro's not being that aggro. Kind of like not letting go of that north tile to go full on.
They are 1 away though, and they're trying to force the Dora into their hand.
Yeah, they're like, get in there. And it is kind of like a red Dora. The 5 is the Dora, and they pair up with it, and yes, they go for it. That forcing works out for them. So Shanpon weight, 2 weights on the 5 and the 8 of bamboo. Aggro, being aggro with the emotes too. Maybe some psychological warfare there for aggro. I think that they're the only ones that have been doing emotes during this whole journey.
Yeah.
So maybe again, this might be a psychological game where aggro is getting away with it. know, the emotes, the emote game here.
Kitty Love doesn't want to give up though. They're
No.
pushing still. Yeah.
But no real
This
danger
call would
of
be
being
10-5.
in it. But a 5-6, 5-7, and a
Oh no!
oh, and there is the sumo aggro. Does the sumo emote comes true? They don't draw the takame, which would be the 5, but they do draw, and they still get that mangan, and that's the mangan that we were talking about earlier.
So at this moment, they have the breakaway, and it looks kind of comfortable in first, but anything can happen.
That's true. There's a lot of Mahjong left in this game.
Yeah.
We're only halfway in. It is only South 1. But Aggro, the flow, carrying over from their last heroic comeback during top 32, carrying in their game. And you know what? Maybe Aggro's emotes has belied their mental fortitude. You know, it might seem egotistical, but maybe this is the top 8 play style that we need to have.
That could be.
Yeah, good draw for Lutang Forever. They do that Kanchan 5, 6, 7.
Kitty Love though here is gonna get 10 pi really fast, and it's a 1-4 circles weight.
Very good weight. The 1 might come out, and there's only 1 in Aggro's hand, so there's still 3 left in the wall.
It wouldn't be surprising to see them win at any time. No. Might be more surprising if they don't win, but Feudus just drew Tsudora, so if they can win the hand, they'll have a lot of points there. Aggro might be going for a flush hand, but it's probably going to be too slow, and there's the 1.
And there's Ron. We were talking about, took the words right out of your mouth. You know, and it is a small win, but they do get to keep their dealership. And again, you know, that home buck count goes up, and so they get a little bit more points. But Kitty Love starting with some good shapes too.
Keeping your dealer is always a big deal, especially when you're like trying to build up points like in a tournament format. So if you can do anything to hold on to your dealership, it's often worth it.
And Kitty Love's hand is just developing. Look at that, drawing very good tiles, almost in temp 2 away. And they're just going for it. Full efficiency, no Dora, but still they are dealer, which is 1.5 times as much. And so let's see which kind of they're going for all simples. That was a good. You could see that 1 discard. They had that complete meld 1, 2, 3, but drew the 5, and can do all simples, and maybe also Chitoy hand too, which is combinable.
There's a lot of options here because they do have 5 pairs. So the 7 pairs Chitoy, like you mentioned, is a possibility. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if they call any tiles, because they can call for all simples, and that might speed up their hand, but they'd lose out on some value, and they still wouldn't be in 10 pi after making a call. So it's an interesting decision. Oh, there's the opportunity.
Now, will they do it like you were saying, or no, because they would have dropped back? So Aggro's looking pretty nice here. Their hands are shaping up pretty well, about 2 away as well. So we'll see if they're going to go ahead and draw into it. They had a little bit of an overflow with too many pairs with that 2 or of a shape. So yeah, now they're 1 away. Excuse me. Ooh, Kitty incorporates the Dora in their hand. Maybe going for Chitoy now. 7 pairs.
The 7 pairs with a pair of Dora can be really expensive, because if you declare reach and get a sumo, then you can get a Hanimon. Oh, there's a reach from Aggro.
Aggro, being true to their name, does the Aggro. It's a 147 weight, so very good wide open Sanmen-chan weight.
Yep.
So we'll see if that goes for Aggro. So you can see they can win on the 1, they can win on the 4, and they can win on the 7.
Oh.
Decisions here. Will they push the Dora against Arichi? No.
Well,
That still is a pretty crazy push of the 3.
yeah, it's really hard because Kitty Love just doesn't really have any safe tiles, so they kind of just have to push here. And I think if they get to 10 pi, they're probably going to discard the Dora, just because I don't see any other option there. But
Yeah, I think that's one way I've been reading in certain things where it's goes for.
oh no, it's
Oh
gonna...
no! Oh no! They push it. The most safest style. Sumo. Aggro is wrong. They don't get a sumo. They get it wrong. But I don't think they have a moat for that particular character.
Yeah.
They say wrong. Aggro, befitting their name, widens their lead.
Yeah. So, I know when I get a big lead, I tend to play more defensively, so other people will just play normally and try to extend their lead. So it kind of depends on the player. But
That's true.
how would you play with a big lead? Would you defend it more, or would you try to keep going and adding on points?
It probably would depend on my tournament placement, but lately in Tenho, I've been going for once I'm in the lead. If I build a Pingfu hand, I kind of keep a hidden Tenpai, and just kind of win and just try to keep my first. But I have been, if people have been going for pretty fast hands and they're very close, like a close second, then maybe I will try to fight so they don't overtake me. But,
Yeah.
But I think Mahjong is a defensive game.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
There are some people who will play it a lot more aggressively, though. But I like playing it defensively, so I can agree.
Yeah, I think before, when I first started playing, especially at the Los Angeles Pride of Mahjongs with experienced Japanese players, I think Shisho, one of the senseis there, said, "Don't call." He just said, "Don't call until I tell you." And then, I listened and I got a bit better. I wouldn't say good, but just better. So I try to think of him when I'm calling for value. So. Aggro, looking very nice here. They're just one away, befitting their name. Let's see if they're reaching. But Kitty Loaf has 3 Dora, as well as a Yakuhai, so we'll see if they're going to be super aggressive. They already have 2 calls.
Looting Forever is already in 10 pi, so it's a very cheap hand, but it's a good weight, and it'll progress the round with them in second. So... Right now, if I had to guess, it looks like they're gonna win the hand, but Kitty Love just got a good draw. So.
Yeah, they're 1 away. They'd want to call on that Kanchan shape in the dots.
Yeah.
To
Furious is moving into a flush hand, and it looked like it was gonna be too slow, but now they're 1 away. So
let's see if they're gonna call, maybe. Or will they be content with just the half flush rather than the full flush?
I think Aggro is folding, and they aren't gonna. I thought they were gonna discard the 1 of circles, and it might be called, but they held on to it for now. Green Dragon.
Tempting for Furious. Will they take?
Oh no!
No, and the dreams are dashed. Furious, probably being furious that their half flush hand. Has been sent. Aggro, hey, not aggro enough during that game. Wants to preserve their lead, so I think maybe Kitty Loaf might have scared him away. Also, maybe seeing that red dragon coming out from Lutang, maybe showing a closed full flush Jinitsu. Well, we're starting here, and Aggro's going aggro, probably just calling to speed up this game and just say, "Hey, yo, I won."
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Oh.
7 bamboo discard. Oh, I misread their hand. Yeah, I can see it. Kitty Loaf is calling already.
Yeah. Maybe she's trying to go for the second, right?
Yeah, that could be it. So, they're gonna get the backfire draw, so now they're at risk of being in
Yeah.
Furry 10, because they need the 6 of characters, but they drew the 9 of characters instead.
Liu Tang is in
See-
Tenpai wanting to get Ferris off of there, just like, hey, give me my dealer turn. So we'll see if that will happen. Kitty Loaf is still one away from. And
Kind of interesting to see all the cheap hands from the people in second and third, just because sometimes you might think of aiming for more to try to get to first, but it's tough balance because you don't want to try to aim too high and get nothing and then get last or something like that.
That's true. It's so close. Second and last are so close, right?
Yeah.
2,000 points. Yeah, just 4,000, 5,000 points. So, okay. Oh, it's so hard for Ferris.
Fierce avoids the Dylan for now.
Yeah. And Ferris also maybe regretting that 9 discard, 9 bamboo.
Oh, there's
but
10 pie.
they reach.
Yeah.
Let's see if Liu Tang will be backed off. Are they going to still keep Tenpai or try to discard?
I feel like I would keep Tenpai here if I were playing, but they aren't gonna do it.
They run away.
Yeah,
They run away.
that's gonna give Fierce a good chance to win here,
Yeah.
and it's also 5,800 at least, and could be higher.
Kitty Loaf's pushing, keeping that north just in reserve here.
Oh,
Okay, that's a
10-5
good
for
draw.
Kitty Loaf.
Kitty Loaf on the
Oh, the 3.
Will the north come out? Let's see.
So they have no Yaku without all simples, so
Yeah.
looks like they were afraid of discarding the north maybe, so
Wow.
they're just gonna keep Tenpai with no Yaku.
Will they switch? Will they switch?
I think he.
No,
they're just
they're running
giving up.
away. Okay, so Kitty Loaf running away. Aggro is also scared. Does not deal out that north. So you can see at home, even though that these aren't value tiles, they're not a Yakuhai. They don't create. They're still having not seen one this far into the game. You can see these top 8 players are very reluctant to deal out an honor tile that is not showing in any of the discards. So.
Yeah. One of the tough things with watching is, as a spectator, when you can see everyone's hands, you know. Oh no.
Oh no!
You know when the tile is safe or not, so it's very easy to say just push when it's safe and don't push when it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But when you're actually playing, it's one of the hardest decisions to make, just because you don't know what's safe and what's not. So sometimes you have to decide based on what you think the risk is and things like that.
I think that's where the tension is, that Mahjong's an incomplete information game. Again, the luck and also that incomplete information is what kind of just tickles that, that desire, that little something that makes us all human here.
Yeah.
You're like, is it should I? No. And plus, when you're reviewing your games, like you can rewatch your games. It's very helpful to rewatch your games. Just keep that in mind as you're doing that. That you didn't have the information at the time, and forgive yourself in that moment. So. Fierce looking good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fierce has a pretty nice hand with Sudora, and they're still Diller, and they're gonna call. So, Liu Tang Forever looks like they're trying to force a flush hand. So it might be slow, but if they get lucky, it can be a lot of points. Then Kitty Loaf has 2 Dora as well, and a pair of Yakuhai, the green dragons. But Aggro also has a pair of green dragons, so probably neither of them are going to get it. Aggro is also currently Tenpai, just waiting on the 3 bamboo. So some people would say that's the best weight.
Yes, that's right. The 3 bamboo is one of the most valuable tiles in Mahjong. And you can see Aggro's not reaching because if the 3 is dealt out, they will have Ipeko, which with the rules Atazuke, they will be able to call wrong. And also they're not in danger of Furiten because they don't have a 2-sided weight. There's not a Takame or Yasume. There's only the 3 that would complete their hand, so they can just sit tight and yeah, give me my 1,000 or 1,500 or 1,300. Yeah. So we'll see.
Furious is getting close though, and that's Tenpai, but they have to destroy the Dora.
They love that Dora. They're thinking, it's out there. Someone's gonna deal it, and I'm gonna call Pon, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah. And Lutang forever has gotten into Tenpai, and it's the double south.
Aggro, reaches.
Aggro tried to go aggro, and it didn't quite pay off. But 2,000 isn't too much to deal into, so
that's
probably not too upset. Yeah.
Oh, Fierce has a nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Lutang has a very nice. Fierce has a nice hand still, but they probably want to call and get back into second. Kitty Loaf is really trying to fight to get out of last. Can they put together at least a Mongon hand to kind of get out of last? So that's what they're thinking. Aggro is just like, I just want to end the game, but they have 2 Dora. Whoop whoop. Maybe more points for me.
Yeah. This is one of those tough decision points if you're Furious, because they might. It doesn't quite look like they'll be able to get first with their hand, so they have to decide if they want to really push for first or just try to get second and not go too high.
Yeah.
So
I think they might be doing the latter, just going for second. They want to get at least.
They're now in Tenpai.
So, and Kitty Love's just trying to build something for value. Maybe all simples.
Aggro just got a great draw. They're going to discard the Dora and try to end this with a pretty cheap hand. Lutang forever got an interesting draw.
Oh, even more interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
This with that switch.
Yeah.
Furious has enough now to shoot for first, but it's only if Aggro deals in.
Yeah. You can
or
see
if
they
they
go
sumo.
They go for a Tonki weight on the Dora, since the Dora.
Yeah.
And that's they make it their pair and just go, okay.
Yeah. So that was a big switch there. And that was the other winning tile, but not anymore.
Not anymore. And I think if Aggro had dealt in, it wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah.
So, Furious was able to go aim for first.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard if Aggro draws the Dora. Doesn't look like they're going to deal it out, and there's already one. So it's
there's only
one chance.
Only one left in the wall.
How about Kitty Loaf? It's a heartbreaker. They want to have that door. They're keeping that 9-8 dot shape that maybe incorporates the door. But little do they know, it's already 2 in their hand. So they're really desperate trying to increase the value of their hand.
Yeah. They do have a chance for the Sanshoku, the mixed triple sequence.
Ooh.
So, and all simples, and with the reach, they would have a chance to get a Mongon and maybe get out of last. Oh,
And then looks like that's what they're doing. They discarded that 9-8 shape.
yeah.
Then they're one away from Avicii, but not
Yeah, but
the Sanshoku. Aggro calls. They are in Tenpai now. 1-4.
Oh, no.
And
That's
Spirit
the
fields in.
captain.
Aggro calls wrong.
So maybe
Tank Forever keeps second. And Aggro, the flow
Yeah.
carrying over from the preview
yeah,
into this
Furious
game.
going for value there. Might have caused them to get third instead of second, but
And that is a 10,000 point swing.
yeah,
So that Furious could have been for. So there's some tournament Mahjong there for you. Furious wanting to go for that first, but gets third.
yeah,
And wow, interesting game. It's
yeah,
funny that we highlighted that player Aggro and watched their comeback, and they surged into first.
yeah.
Not even the commentator's curse could dissuade Aggro from winning this game. So, what do you think about that game, DDR Dan?
It was pretty interesting most of the way. Before Aggro won that one Mangon that kind of got him a breakaway first, it was really close. He won the Mangon at the start, but then he dealt in, so it kind of went back and forth early. But at the end, I thought it was kind of interesting to see everyone. It looked like everyone was trying to pursue second more than first, and they were going for like faster and cheaper hands. And then in this format, it is a top 2 advance, so pursuing second makes a lot more sense than like in a only the first place advances. So they may be thinking about that format and just thinking second is enough, and then so trying to balance that and not aim too high when they don't have to.
Yeah, the heartbreaker for Ferris. I think that decision to kind of say, hey, I could be first. I got the Dora, but a Dora discard from Aggro. I think maybe if he thought about that a bit more, of how likely that would have been, might have woken them up a little bit more. Like, will the dealer deal out the Dora Tonki? We'll deal out the Dora.
Yeah, it's one of those tough decisions, because sometimes if you can just secure a first in the first game, that might carry you through the second game and get you to advance. So it might be worth the risk, but then if you get third instead of second, then you might not qualify. So it's hard to decide.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Well, we are in semifinals. That's the first game of semifinals. We have one more game for semifinals. Looking at the standings here, we have Nico Won't is actually, maybe they should change their name to Nico Will. And our boy Light Pink Yoshi, we used to watch some of Light Pink Yoshi's match when we were doing some test streams. Unfortunately, our commentator's curse sent him to last, but it's good to see that they've been performing very well at some past tournaments. So shout outs to Light Pink Yoshi. Jackius is at -8.6, and then Utama Court Composer, who had a very good showing in top 32, is unfortunately last. But still, again, lots of Mahjong left here. Aggro, befitting their name, the Nagare flow carrying them in to first. Lutang Forever basically sat pretty, took that second. Furious, the protagonist of our story, trying to go for first, is sent to third. And then unfortunately Kitty Loaf very far behind in last place for the Seattle Ricci Mahjong Club. All right, taking a look at the chat. Hey, shout outs to Pat the Flip. I've read some of your guides, really good stuff, really good articles, and fellow Filipino here. What's your favorite Filipino dish, Pat the Flip? And yeah, so shout outs to chat. Thanks for joining us here. Hope you're finding this stream is entertaining. Again, I'm joined by DDR Dan. He's the expert player here, a ho-ho player, Very good player on Tenho. So listen to him, and maybe not to the F man so much. I'm just kind of just throwing it out there. And DDR Dan is here again to pick up the pieces. So thanks, DDR Dan.
Speaking of chat, I see someone said Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go to a short break while we get everything set up for the second game. Thanks for watching. It's been exciting. We're getting ready for the second match. Elimination is not happening yet, but after this game, it will be the top 2 players of each table moving on to the final table. So sit tight. We will be right back. All right, thanks for waiting. We are back. The matches are a little bit delayed. One of our players needs a bit of a break, but we do have something a little special for you here. Take it away.
Hey, what's up? This is the F Man. Earlier, we were talking about our own personal encounters with Mahjong. How did we get into this crazy game? There wasn't a Mahjong Soul around, and I think I have to credit our sponsors here, YoStar, Cat Food Studios, for Mahjong Soul that have really kind of popularized the game here. But I wanted to shine the spotlight on my co-commentator here, DDR Dan, again, who's a very advanced Mahjong player. And when did you start playing Mahjong, DDR Dan?
I think it was like 6 years ago or so.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
How did you get into Mahjong?
So it's probably a pretty common story, but I watched the Mahjong animes like Saki and Akagi, and at that point I didn't know anything about the game. I just thought the animes looked pretty cool, and then of course I was like curious about what they were actually playing, but at that point I didn't actually get into Mahjong. I just learned about it, and then sometime later my friends mentioned the Flash game on the game design website, and they said,
Oh,
"Oh, you can play Mahjong online on this Flash game." So then, like, I thought back to when I watched the animes, and then I was like, I want to learn what that game's all about. So then I just clicked like everyone, like, just tried it out, and then I had the like no multiplier, how do you win? And so, like, I was new like everyone else, and I didn't know what I was doing,
uh-huh.
but eventually I kind of figured it out, and then I just I'd play the Flash game a lot for like um, maybe a month or two. I would just
Okay.
play it every now and then go against the computers and get a little bit better that way. So then um, the same friends kind of mentioned that if I wanted to play against human players, I could play on Tenho, and then I was like starting to feel like I knew how the game worked a little bit more. So then I decided to try out playing against human players, and thought that feels like I'm pretty good from playing against computers. And then
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff that I wasn't actually good at when I first started. So then
I think there should be an anime of DDR Dan, like going in like, oh yeah, I really like this anime. I'll play
yeah,
this Flash game and this solitaire game. You're like, hey, take
yeah,
that, computer player two. I got a
yeah,
Mongon. Yo.
yeah,
And then you're like, oh, now I will play online.
yeah.
And back in the day, for those watching the stream right now, Tenho did not have an English. They did not have a translation, nor did they have later on an English menu. That was not in place. I think the English menu only came out maybe within the last year, and that plug-in browser translation maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So you enter in Tenho with just Japanese. Did you know how to read Japanese, DDR Dan?
Um, I I could read a good amount of Japanese because I studied it for a while, but
Mm,
I'm not like fluent or anything.
cool.
But I did know enough to like make my way around and stuff. So
So, DDR Dan, how did you get better at Mahjong if you're just this hermit in the wilderness, playing? Did you have other friends that you would talk about Mahjong to, or?
um, really, it was just me by myself. So um, I do a lot of like competitive games, but in addition to that, I really work on trying to like figure out strategies in games and figure out how you can reason out what the best strategy is. So then I think I'm actually pretty good at that. So I use that skill, and then I slowly, like, every time something would happen in a game, I would think, was that something, like, was there something I could have done to like avoid that or make my situation better? And then I found a lot of different patterns like that, and I'd say, if I, in a case like this, I should probably do this and not do this and do this, and then I just slowly got a little bit better over time. But one of the things I do want to mention is that um, people, I think, put the bar really high for being good at Mahjong with like Tenho rank. But back in the day, when I was at 3 Dan, and I was just playing on my own, I was like, if I ever get to 4 Dan, I'll be really happy. And there was a point where it looked like I was gonna go back to 2 Dan, but in the end, I like eventually got to 4 Dan, and I was happy, and I was gonna like quit the game there, and
Oh,
then I would have been satisfied, been like, yeah, I got 4 Dan, that's pretty cool, and not been disappointed at all. But um, Tenno has the next room up that you can play when you get to 4 Dan, so I was like curious about what that was all
the
about.
Tokujo room, yes.
Yeah, because that was my first time being able to play in that room. So then I tried it out, and then I got a lucky streak right when I went there, and then I got to 5 Dan really fast. So then that made me like want to keep going and see if I could get to 6 Dan and see if I could get to 7 Dan.
Wow, that's great. It kept on getting. DDR Don maybe should be your name instead of Dan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, that's great. So we have a question from the chat. DDR Dan, what is your favorite DDR song?
Right, the song, if anyone knows New Decade Challenge and New Decade the expert chart as well. So I stopped playing GDR for a long time, but then they came out with a lot of new songs while I wasn't playing, and then one of the songs that really brought me back was the New Decade songs, because it had a lot of different stuff that like the boss songs that I played in my era didn't really have, and I just thought it was like really cool to see like the different kinds of steps that they added in the game and the different ways they made charts nowadays.
Awesome. So DDR Dan, I wanted to ask, since you have a unique, because you're you've played fighting games, you're very competitive in a lot of fighting games, and Puyo Puyo Tetris, Arcana Hearts. What do you think of the similarities and differences of Mahjong as a fighting game and not a fighting game?
I'd say it feels pretty different to me, just because fighting games, for the most part, you can control just about everything, and if you lose, like, it might be due to random decision that you or your opponent made, but for the most part it's in your control still. But Mahjong, on the other hand, has so much random chance where you can win or lose regardless of how well you play. You can make poor decisions and still win, or make good decisions and still lose. So in some ways that can be like kind of frustrating, but it can also be helpful to like be able to play with other people, because in fighting games, if you're way better than your opponents, it's just a lot of times no fun to play, because you just win every time, and there's like there's nothing else to it, you just win. But in Mahjong, even if you're a lot more skilled than your opponents, you can still like enjoy playing the game with them, because they still have a chance to win by luck and things like that, which can make it interesting and more enjoyable to play in situations like that.
That's a great perspective, DDR Dan. I must say, so we have some senior citizens that came from like a senior citizen club from Orange County, and I want to give a shout outs to T-san, and she's like an older Japanese lady, retired. She just wears glasses. And then I remember when I was first playing, I was like, oh, these are just old people that just play Mahjong. Like, you know, they're just whatever.
Yeah.
And so I would like disregard their Richis. And then more often than not, I would deal into like a Mongon hand. And I was like, wait a minute. Kingston here is a very fearsome opponent. And I must say, when I was playing against her in a tournament, she was just running away with the game in first. I think I dealt into her before, and then I had to fight out for second. But yeah, like the older Japanese players, you know, even though they might seem mild-mannered and just like, you know, have been playing for fun, they've been at it a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's a little story for you. I like that perspective. Like, you can play with everybody and just have fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a beginning player.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you might learn from them, like especially their aggression, right? Like, you're like, wow, they're really winning, you know, different styles. So
yeah.
One more question from the chat. They said, do you like any other Bomani games, and do you have a Dan in Beatmania 2DX?
So I played 2DX, and I know I played, so I passed whatever Dawn level has the Safari in it. I passed that one, and when I played a lot, I could pass most of the level 10 songs, and then a couple level 11 songs, and that was about it. But So I was like, okay, but not bad, but not super good or anything. And then I play a lot of the other rhythm games kind of casually every now and then. So I played like pop-in music and a little bit of Sound Voltex and some other games. But
Oh,
I'm not super good at those. Just I'm all right. But
I think it's fun just to be into different other games and like
Yeah.
like. I must say, Mahjong Soul's netcode is pretty good. Pretty good. You know, so it's great. I'm glad for those of you at home. You know, just having to be at home. I hope this Mahjong Soul tournament from us and the organizers here. Shout outs to Arenline, Tipzntrix again. You know, doing a great stream here. The TO. Ponzan, Q, who's also a TO as well. Also, shout outs to Experimilk and also Withheld, who have been holding it down in the chat modding. We hope that you have been enjoying watching this Mahjong tournament. And if you don't play Mahjong, like I hope this sets you on a path of Mahjong. I want to say to you all that, you know, if you're playing fighting games, you know, you feel that age or reaction time, maybe your sight's not as good. Mahjong will be here for you. You know, it's not dependent on youth. You know, maybe as you're getting older, as I am, I'm finding like you know, it's hard for me to beat the young bucks, but in Mahjong, you know, it's anyone's game. So yes, truly Mahjong is the retirement game for the FGC. You saw it first with Daigo and Bonchan, you know, so you know, we'll have a home for here waiting for you after you're done with the Street Fighter 10. So come on down. And Guilty Gear, Exceed, Strive, Isuka, yeah. So let's see. Any other things that DDR Dan? You said you're half Filipino. What's your favorite Filipino food?
Maybe chicken adobo.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. I like chicken adobo. I made a white adobo actually with no soy sauce. I use lemongrass, and what else? And vinegar still, but white. Like I'm growing some lemongrass stalks, and yeah, cooked up a whole mess of it. So I guess we're going to be starting up pretty soon. If you have any other questions in the chat. So the primary and expert stream, Panda's expert, they had very good expert commentators, which were Shinky, who's a ho-ho player, and Carrot Parfait, who has made it to the WRC cuts many times back 2014 and 2017. So yeah, so and Panda Fisser has also gone to WRC. So that was the expert stream. We're fortunate to have DDR Dan, who is actually an expert commentator, and Frenetic. Myself, I am not an expert commentator, so I mostly, you know, just give him the hype. So that's why the long and short of it. But thanks for staying here. Okay, we're starting with our first game, Lutang Forever, seeing if they're going to complete their second. Oh, we've got a poem from Ferris, probably maybe a little bit salty, but that 2 Dan in their hands. There's that 2 Dora is looking good. So that's an early call by them. And anyone else? Aggro has a East Yakuhai pair, maybe called. And then Kitty Loaf really trying to get back, trying to make up for that -25. So you'll see those are the point values from their last game, the overall. So you'll see that influence this game too.
Yeah, that is worth mentioning because all of the players are going to have to play around that point value to make sure that at the end of the game they actually qualify for the next round, because that's the only goal here for them.
Ferris already in Tenpai waiting on the 7 Mon. Ooh, but Lutang Forever doubles up on the Dora. Let's see what happens. What will they discard?
Oh, Khan.
A Khan! Ferris Maybe furious for coming in third. They're pushing hard.
Oh,
The 7 doesn't come out. Looks like maybe they're going for a Honitsu half flush. Ooh, nice drop for Wu-Tang. They are getting into that half flush with 2 Dora. Ooh, tasty. But that 7 might come out, and Furious will call wrong on that.
Yeah. Aggro will probably discard the White Dragon.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if there's an open con.
Do all you can. Will they do it? They're thinking about it. Did not go. Okay.
I think no con there makes sense, but
I think Lutang, if that 6-mon comes out from Kitty Loaf, if a 6-mon comes out, then they'll chi it and maybe be saved from.
I think that's actually Fierce changing their hand.
Oh, because of the new Condora, right? They wanted to incorporate that 5. Super greedy. Champong wait on both Doras. Oh my gosh. Let's see what's going to happen.
So
Is
they
that
actually
going to come out?
Yeah, they just locked in a Hanuman with that play, so they're guaranteed 12,000 points if they can win. There's no tiles left in the wall though for them to win off of.
Yeah, maybe again, maybe that reaching for first, like in the last game, coming back to haunt them in the second game. We got some dangerous hands.
Yeah. It doesn't look like anyone's going to discard one of those Doras for Furious to win, so they might be stuck. Looting Forever is not getting the draws they need to advance their hand, but if they do, they'll probably discard the East Wind and then it'll be called by Aggro. So.
Which won't. Okay, and here it comes out. Speak of the devil there, Dan. Very astute observation. So
that puts Aggro. Into
6 pin. Yeah.
Unfortunately, 3 of them are in the call from Kitty Loaf, and this is going to be the last row. Wow.
No 10. Ferris with the Tenpai wanted that 12,000 points with the Hanuman. Has to settle for 3,000.
I thought Aggro wasn't Tenpai there.
I think they dealt that 5, right? They
I didn't notice.
At the end. Yeah. But yeah, they were Tenpai, but they were spooked, I believe, or something. Maybe didn't want to deal out that 5.
So it's not the big win for Fierce, but it's still a good result, and he still comes out in first.
Yeah.
But only by a little bit.
Still, it might. They do. Maybe they can ride that in on their dealer.
Yeah.
Now that their dealer, and they have some good shapes there. 4-6-6, 7-8. So we'll see. Kitty Loaf is just maybe just trying to go for like a Honitsu half flush.
Yeah.
In the bamboo. Aggro, you're seeing a good completed meld. Still a little bit further away, but Lutang Forever with a good 5-6-6-7-7 shape is maybe going for an early win with all simples, but seeing maybe if they can pick up some Dora within the Manzu character suit.
Kitty Love gets the second call. Lutang Forever gets the second call too. Kitty Love keeps progressing. That flush looked really far away at first, but all of a sudden it looks like a possibility here. And it gets a little bit closer.
Wow. And you were talking about that early in the last game, Dan, about Honitsu's like flush hands looking far, but actually speeding up. As you can see, 2 good draws for Kitty Wolf.
In case people didn't hear the first time, there's some advantages to going for a flush hand even when it's far away, because you can keep safe tiles. keep the honor tiles that are probably safe, even while you're like calling tiles. So it's kind of low risk and kind of high reward if it pays off.
Yeah, Kitty Loaf, if they call that green dragon pair, that would be either another Han for a 3 Han hand.
Yep.
And then, yes. Ferris looks like they make that calls because they're going for a all simples Tanyao hand. Wanting to keep their dealer. It's probably seeing everybody call and just saying, hey, I want to keep my dealer.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting discard. The 6.
Kitty Love gets into Tenpai.
Ooh.
Oh, they can call this green dragon to add value, and they do it.
Will.
Yeah.
Discarding the 5 because they can complete it with the 7, right?
Yep.
As well as the 6.
So they had the option of a 4/7 weight or a 6/7 weight, and they chose the 6/7 here. Liu Tang forever could be in trouble if they ever change their pair weight, or if they draw the 7.
Ferris also in Tenpai with a 4 bamboo weight. Still a lot of tiles left.
Oh,
well, the con comes out. Do all you con. New door reveal. The 5.
Yeah.
5.
That's one of the winning tiles though for Fears. Oh, there's the other one though.
Oh, no! Heartbreaker.
Kitty Loaf unfortunately chose the wrong weight because they could have had the 4/7 weight.
That's right.
But
that's right.
That's less of an actual mistake and more of just getting unlucky with with which tile you end up drawing.
Ferris just deals out the Dora, says, "Hey, I got the 8 pin. I want to keep it," and yeah.
Kitty Love seems to like these early calls. They might go to another flush hand, or they can just go for a west wind hand.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It came back to kind of bite them.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just the run of the bad luck, and we'll see if that 5 comes out. No, maybe just kind of going for an early win. Saw that East out, and also East is the Dora indicator, so
Yeah.
They don't want to pair it up. Let's see everybody else's hand. Aggro is kind of slowly building up their hand, maybe an E-Peiko chance, looking pretty good. Some good chips. But Fierce calls, opens their hand, maybe be going for a half flush. We'll see.
They are in Tenpai right now, but they can choose to like switch. We'll have to see what they do here. Okay, they're committing to just a cheap hand.
Cheap hand, okay.
So
they might be trying to toy maybe with some of the.
It's a bit hard to get there with this shape, but with the pair weight, it's pretty easy for them to draw a different bamboo tile and get a better weight. So Kitty Love is now making the transition though to a flush hand. And this is a better weight for Fierce, a 5/6 weight, and it's gonna win immediately.
And you're right, the deal in.
So if you're not familiar with these kinds of weights, when you have like a triplet and then a tile next to it, and you just need a pair, you can either pair the tile itself, like with the 4/4/4/6, you can draw the 6 for a pair, or you can draw the 5, and then it's a 4/5/6 with a pair of 4s. So when you have that triplet with a tile next to it, it makes some complex weights. There's also the weight Kitty Loaf had in one of the previous hands.
Yes, that's right. That was a similar weight. She kind of picked the tile that was closest to the triplet, right?
Yeah.
So for you at home, when you're seeing those triplets, they aren't just a meld unto themselves. So think of that as complex weights as they figure in as you're getting closer to Tenpai.
Furious might be looking for a straight in the circle tiles, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, now it looks like they can potentially get Pinfu if they could get the 3 of circles, but they're all being discarded by aggro. So
Yeah.
Kitty Loaf might be going for another flush hand.
Yeah, I think she's just kind of playing. She's kind of playing how. Usually, if you're really far behind in the games, like usually force Honitsu to get value, right?
Yeah, that's
Or-
one way to do it.
You know.
Furious has now changed weights, but it's a bad weight again because there's only 1 2 of characters left,
Yeah,
so they're gonna try and change again.
they're switching it up. That Ipeiko chance for you at home, if you're thinking, hey, this looks like a good Ipeiko shape. Again, there's sometimes overlapping tiles, and then also your weight might be dead.
Yeah.
So check those discards. You know,
Yeah.
you might be having to switch your weight and move to another block. Again, referring to the 5-block theory in Ricci Book 1 by Dana Chiba, which you all should be reading if you have interest in Mahjong here.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, interesting. Doesn't switch but all the 8s in that 6677 character shapes are in Liu Tang's meld. So interesting change for Fierce. As far
Kitty
as
Love.
value, yeah.
Kitty Love.
Chidori.
Yeah, all of a sudden it has a 2 Dora hand instead of a half flush hand. So probably the easiest way to get value in this game is just get Dora, but it's not something you can control. You just have to hope that you end up drawing Dora. But you can hold tiles around the Dora to be able to use the Dora if you draw it.
Liu Tang probably saw that white dragon in the discard, says like, hey, probably not going to pair it up. Going to use it as a defensive tile, maybe.
Oh, that's a win.
That's a win. Aggro. Aggressive. Befitting their name.
Yeah.
1100.
It's a cheap win, but it's good enough for this situation. Aggro just needs enough points to be in the top 2 at the end of this game.
Because they did so well in the first game, right?
Yeah.
And as you can see, Aggro is being aggressive, kind of says, hey, I'm going to pick the 1-2, kind of probably because there's a slim chance of Itsu, you know, when they see those runs that are kind of connected together.
Yeah.
You have Kitty Loaf. Come on, Kitty Loaf. Again, maybe going for that half flush in the Pinzu.
Yeah.
Dots. Liu Tang Forever. Good shapes, already has a Dora, so we'll see how that develops. And Fierce has maybe going for a Chinitsu hand, a Chitoitsu, a 7 pairs with all those pairs in their hands. So
Right now, Liu Tang Forever is the closest to being ready. And their hand could be pretty good with all simples and a Dora, and maybe reach if they draw it themselves.
see if they discard the 2 for Liu Tang in order to have a more efficient talent. They do. Okay, the 2 comes out. Ooh, Aggro's chances for Itsu grows, but they deny it. Maybe.
This is one way, though.
Yeah.
And then Double East is always very powerful because it's 2 Han by itself and your dealer, and with anything else, you can get a really big hand. Like they have 1 Dora, so if they can win, it'll be 5,800.
That's a good point. That's a great point, DDR Dan. Not only is it 2 Han double, but also since their dealer increases that value by 1.5, so
the other players are moving into 10 pi though. So
let's see. And Aggro's 1 away, maybe just having that 2-3 shape.
There's 10 pi, so 3 players now are in 10 pi, and there's a winning tile.
Oh no! Tang deals in to Aggro.
Yeah.
And that's your prediction 5,800, right on the dot there, DDR Dan. The math is correct.
And Aggro has 2 Dora to start this round too.
Oh.
Yeah.
And also, maybe they can convert that to Sanshoku 789, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. This could become a battle for second place overall if Aggro can pull away enough to kind of secure the first place overall.
Yeah, it's Fierce and Aggro are in a battle right now. And Kitty Loaf is actually... It might seem that she's doing okay as third, but she really needs to either get a second or she needs to get a first to kind of really go for it. So you're going to see maybe some high building plays. Let's see if the calls will still come out from Kitty Loaf or if she'll keep her hand closed and just slowly build her hand. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of people that are calling very fast hands and not allowing her to build up a big hand quickly enough. So
G.
Oh, still calling though. Aggro's gonna call. Looks like Aggro's gonna go for all simples here. And
will the door
Looting Forever is pretty close. 1 away.
Switches it up. Maybe. Oh, it melts with that 6, so they need maybe a 7 of characters.
Oh, this is Tenpai now. Yeah.
Oh, and they do it. They were able to incorporate. Let's see if the 7 comes out, but there's only 1 7 left, and it's in Kitty Loaf's hand. Doubt it might be coming out since it's paired with the 6 7. And they're like, hey, I would like a Dora as well. So.
Yeah, I just noticed that the last one was the Dora indicator, so no 7 of characters are left for anyone. It'll have to come out of someone's hand.
True that.
In this situation, it'll be interesting to see how aggressive Aggro pushes, just because, like, they don't want to take too much risk with the win in the first round and a good score in this round currently.
Yeah, like they're second.
Yeah.
They might think of that, like they really want to protect their second. So, and the 3 dots is Suji to Lutang, so they might not have to push that much.
Yeah.
They come out with the 6, which is total safe tile for Lutang.
Looks like Fierce is folding as well. And there's the 3.
Kitty Loaf, rightfully angry. I know. The developments in these last hands for her. Oh, it's a heartbreaker. Another save tile, 6.
That's Tenpai.
Tenpai.
And takes it. Yeah.
Can she get the 1? She wants the 4. Wait, no, she wants the 6.
Oh, that's Tenpai. But
they have to push that 4. Let's see if Aggro is truly Aggro. Just bails because Haite, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's another Han. That's a big threat. Wow, really? Wow, that was a really juicy hand, I must say.
Yeah.
Juicy round. All right, we're in East 4. Kitty Loaf, let's see what kind of magic. Is there a magic sand that Kitty Loaf can reach down and pull from the depths to catapult her into first place?
So, the thing to remember is as long as you have a dealer turn, you can make anything happen because you can just go on really long win streaks, but on the other hand, as soon as your last dealer turn is over, a lot of times it just feels hopeless. You have to get Yakuman hands every hand or something like that.
That is the depressing parts, right?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with past and you're in last place and you're just like, oh, like I gotta play for third, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the rub, huh? Getting out of last place.
Yeah.
So, Kitty Loaf, this is a very crucial round for her. You know, it might not even make it to South for, you know, her
Yeah.
point situations. She's thinking about how do I make up this difference from my last place in the first game.
Furious and Aggro and Looting Forever all kind of have pretty fast hands though, and they're
Yeah.
looking to end Kitty Love's Stiller turn.
Good shapes. And Kitty Loaf, maybe sensing that, is calling right away, maybe going for an outside Chanta hand. But
Yeah.
or maybe and so here's the thing, calling the hands and then saying, wow, I'm drawing good tiles, too bad I might have to get rid of them later on. We'll see. Kitty Loaf maybe really wanting to draw an 8 of characters now.
So there's the chance for a straight. Oh, Kitty Loaf is gonna go for the straight instead. So
straight in the
just-
dots, yeah.
it's gonna be tough though, because there's only one of circles left, and there's a reach.
Yeah, and the dreams, but she just pushes the 7. Oh, Kitty Loaf maybe just saying, hey, I'm gonna get to Tenpai and like go for this, you know. So we'll see how far, but 37 tiles, that's a lot of tiles to be dealt to stay in Tenpai.
Yeah. The other opportunity is to pair up the East Wind and then go for the double East.
That's hard. If the 9 mon comes out, ooh, the 7 comes out. Will they switch and maybe go for?
They're gonna destroy these. Oh, Sumo though.
They're widening their lead. Let's see by how much. 2,000. No Ura. It's so close between Kitty Loaf. Maybe they're still South 4 though. Kitty Loaf.
Yeah.
Still South 4. So we'll see you. We'll see you again. Furious opening was a strong hand. North wins already.
So in a situation like this, I like having the last Diller turn because you either keep your Diller turn or the game's over, and you don't have to like go through a bunch of rounds just hoping for Yakuza.
Yes, right. So that's why some players just like, man, I'm glad I'm not dealer first.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to having to like kind of wake up right away and start playing, but also not having, if their dealer passes in South 1 and they're behind, there's 3 more rounds of just like horribleness. Right?
Oh.
Ooh, a pawn of the Dora, but no Yaku yet for Furious. Maybe just showing some muscle. They
Kitty
really
Loaf has some small chance of the Kokushi Muso.
And let's see. It looks like, yes, she is going for it with all those 3 middle tiles dealt out. Lutang Forever's just like, should I just pawn this? But no, passes it up. Maybe going for 7 pairs, Chitoi Itsu.
Oh, there's the last North Wind though. So
Oh,
the Yakuza dream is dead already.
Kitty Loaf is probably just pausing and going, oh, why? Why? It would have been so awesome.
Oh,
Furious
flush
might
hand
just be
now.
going for a flush. Look how quickly that progressed. Might not even need a Yaku High from these tiles, and so still keeping the tiles, honor tiles that aren't discarded as much, and we'll see. Good draw for Lutang Forever.
Yep.
They are 1 away from Tenpai. And with a and there it is. Dorichi with the Champagne weight 6-7, and Tanya probably checking to see what tiles were in the discard pond to Ricci. They only saw that 1-7 maybe.
Yep. So there's only one winning tile left for them in the wall, but there's still one left, so there's at least some hope to draw it. Furious is pushing that flush hand pretty hard, and they're gonna get Tenpai, but they called the 4 already, so...
Yeah.
And then the last one is in the reach hand, so it can't be discarded.
It's tough. Fierce is probably just gonna wait.
Yeah.
Doesn't know. Well, at least they know they have all those 4, so they can change their weight and might change their weight.
Yeah. It's interesting to see them pushing pretty hard here because they have the big lead, and it's probably enough to get them into a qualifying position if nothing else happens. So now they decide to back off finally.
This 4 is looking dangerous. It is not a Suji because the 1 is in the discards for Lutang. Yeah, that's not a good suit. That's not a Suji.
Yeah, people get it confused sometimes, but the middle tiles make the outside tiles Suji, but one of the outside tiles doesn't make the middle tile Suji. You need both sides.
You need both sides, and even then, it's
Tsumo on the
one. Any Ura?
Oh, no Ura, but still
good.
It's gonna bring the scores a lot closer. Yeah. So.
Ooh, already Yakuhai for Lutang. Let's see if they can run out their dealer. They're thinking about that too. Probably really like that.
Yeah.
And there's the call.
Yeah.
Anyone else's hands here? They're looking pretty good. No doors yet, except for Fierce. Kitty Loaf is having a hand. Hopefully they can make it back.
Yeah.
But it's still far. Looking like some triplets?
Yeah. Maybe there's... Yeah, Suwanko.
The dream?
Yeah.
So, Suwanko, for those at home, is a hand made of 4 triplets that are concealed. So, you're going to see maybe instead of like a Chitoi, a 7-pair hand from Kitty Love, she might be going for the Yakuman Dream.
Yeah.
Lutang Forever made a call. Toy combined with that White Dragons might be a good hand, but they draw Dora, so let's see what happens.
Aggro is already in Tenpai. They can only win on the 6th though, and they draw the 9, so it's actually the backfire draw.
No.
And now they're going to be in Furi 10.
They have to draw the 6 themselves. They can't call it for anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, the dangers. Yeah.
Oh, they could switch though, and they switch. So the Furi 10 is broken now.
Yeah. They can. It's a Kanchan weight, but since it's not the 2-sided, they can now call the 6 from anybody else. So that was a very fortunate draw.
Oh no.
Yeah. You're like, but that shit's good, so they
Yeah.
keep it. And 9 might come out. That 9.
Kitty Loaf is also going for all triplets, but the open version, which isn't a Yakuman.
It is just 200.
Yeah.
2,000 points for those at home.
Oh, another switch for Aggro.
Oh, 2 even better. They can incorporate the 3 of Bamboo.
All triplets though for Kitty Loaf. And
finally she wins the hand.
Yeah.
At 2026, okay. Because of the extra foo from the east, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, as long as you still have a dealer turn, it's okay to sometimes win hands that aren't that expensive, just because you can make up more points on your dealer turn and you don't want to lose too much before you get it.
Yeah.
So,
and Kitty Loaf has moved into 3rd place.
Yeah.
So, with that win.
She's probably going to need a 1st place in the Hanchan, though, to have a chance at top 2.
Yeah, and so that difference is about at least 12,000. So Hanuman, or at least some Mangan. She wants to get some Mangan hands. So we'll see if she will open her hands more or keep closed and try to go for more high value hands. Looking at the board, Furious has some good shapes, but has some tough middle tiles to fill for those shapes. Aggro looking as well, some good shapes as well. Maybe even having an outside Chanta or even a Junchan hand, maybe. Let's see if they can.
And possibly the 7-8-9 mixed triple sequences. Sanshoku.
Isn't that just the spiciest hand? Like,
Yeah.
Sanshoku, Junchan, like Damaten.
Yeah.
The problem with that is you usually need the 9-8 shape, so you don't get into Furry 10 with a, let's say, a 7-8 shape.
Mm-hmm. Kitty Loaf is going for another flush hand.
Yeah. Yes.
That's been happening pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting style.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that a lot. Open your hand for a half flush with a Yakuhai. And trying to maybe copy it with, like, combine it with other Yakuhai to increase the value of the hand, maybe to a Mongon hand. Maybe that's how she gets Mongons, you know? So.
Aggro's hand is no longer an outside hand, but it has gotten better. Gotten closer, at least.
Sometimes
Looting Forever, though.
To get, yeah.
Looting Forever has a flush hand as well. Oh, now it could be Sanshoku, a mixed triple sequence.
Ooh.
So. Furious is pretty far away, even with the one call, so it's going to be tough for them to win this hand. But they are in first, so they don't necessarily need to win the hand.
They might just relinquish it, yeah. So. And it looks like they might be kind of, who are they afraid of?
Probably the flush hands.
Yeah. Oh, they pair up the south.
Hmm?
Let's see.
Gee.
Oh. There's
Kilo.
a Tenpai.
Tenpai waiting on the east.
Unfortunately, Looting Forever has two of those easts, and they probably aren't going to discard them.
No. If anything, they'll use it as their pair, right?
Yeah.
Calling the north, pitching the 9-mon. Oh, excuse me, the 9-pin. The 9 dots. Pierce looks like they're folding. They're saying, hey, I'm taking my ball going home. It's okay. That 3 calls, mill calls, and there's only one white dragon to discard.
I think Looting Forever tried to play it safe, but dealt in instead.
Oh, that's the rub, huh?
Yeah. Because
they're like playing it safe against Kitty Loaf, but but there was also another Tenpai from Aggro.
Yeah.
Right. Well, getting into this, looks like Aggro has a Dora, Kitty Loaf has a Dora, and now Ferris has a Dora. Everybody gets a Dora except for Looting Forever, but they do have a Yakuhai in the dragon, so might be added value for them. Let's see what happens.
So now we have to, at this point, be really focused on the point situation overall. So Furious is pretty comfortable with their first. If they can hold on to first, they're probably going to have a top 2 spot secured. Aggro is also in second, and if they can hold on to second, they're probably going to have top 2 secured. So both of those players are feeling pretty nice right now. As long as they can get through the last 2 rounds, they probably have it. But Kitty Loaf is going to have one last dealer turn, and they're going to need to make up a lot of points. But with that dealer turn, they are going to have a chance. Looting Forever had a second place in the first round, so depending on how much points they get with third, if they get third, they can still be in, so it might be close. Fierce though with the reach.
Though. Oh,
yeah.
Gosh. And it's a. Let's see. The weights are. It's a 3-6 in the bamboo. I had to turn my head.
Yeah.
So Furious, what do you think of that? They couldn't call wrong because they have that triplet of ones, right?
Yeah. So I think it does make sense to call reach, just because you don't want to give any of the other players a chance to pull away and take your spot, and then you don't qualify, because they aren't like guaranteed here or anything. So they would
Yeah.
like to just win this hand and try get it more cemented.
And Fierce doesn't have the point cushion because they were third in the last game, and so that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Aggro, pretty comfy, got a pretty big first, is probably thinking, you know, they have a very good hand, but they have to push that five dots.
They're gonna do the 2 instead though, and now they actually can get the mixed triple sequences and all simples and a Dora, so they all of a sudden have the chance for a really big hand. But there's a reach.
And they do draw
really
it!
big.
Whoa, let's see if they're gonna push the north.
No reach though.
No reach. Damaten waiting on the 2s and the 7s. Too many 4s.
Decision.
Too many 4s.
This is one of the hardest decisions because you don't want to deal in, but you have such a good hand. Oh, they're gonna go.
They push it. Aggro gets aggressive, fitting their name.
Deals in.
Steals into Aggro. He kept it. Big points. Big puntos.
So
12,000. Oyamangan. Aggro. Dashing the dream of Kitty Loaf.
yeah. That's one of the. So we saw one player make a bold push for a big hand, and it really paid off, and another player made a bold push, and it didn't pay off. So.
That was a crucial hand. That was a bloodbath right there.
So, Kitty Love has an even tougher job to
and
come
Aggro
back.
is afraid, knows that he just basically kicked Kitty Loaf down the cliff.
So.
The comeback coming hard, being very hard for her. Aggro pushing that 4 pin, and it paid off.
At this point, it's pretty tough for Aggro to lose their spot in the top 2. Like, something pretty crazy would have to happen. Like, they'd have to deal into maybe a Yakuman, or Kitty Loaf would have to keep winning as dealer, and Aggro would have to deal in a good amount.
What do you think of Fierce's position now that they're
It's surprisingly, like, they have a big enough lead over Lutang Forever that as long as they don't Lutang Forever doesn't win any big hands, Fierce is actually pretty comfortable here too. But as we can see, Lutang Forever has 2 Dora, so there's a potential big hand there.
There could be an upset, right?
Yeah. Aggro doesn't need any more points, but they're drawing a hand.
Big keeps on giving them tiles right there, and is 1 away from Tenpai.
This is one of the strange situations where you don't really need anything, but you start drawing things.
Still get it, and they just keep on getting their points. So do these points carry into the top finals? Their total?
I don't think they do, but I'm not sure.
So they are halved.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So there's
The TOs decided that in the best way to simulate winners and losers bracket was to have half score carryover, since this is an AnimEVO event. So that's how they did it.
I see.
Oh no, Aggro! Thank you for that info, Tipzntrix. And Aggro throws out the sumo. I'm gonna sumo this hand, and screw you all. I'm gonna take these big points, and even though that they're halved, they will carry them into around. Aggro being aggressive as befitting their moniker, their handle, right? What do you think of that Ricci there, or Dan?
It makes a lot more sense knowing that the points carry over, so there is a reason to try to keep getting more points. Otherwise, I might Dama and not declare reach, because if there was no value to the points. Oh, Con.
Wu-Tang just reaching for it, doing a con while someone else is reaching, but it doubles their Dora. Their 6 becomes 4. Their 2 6s become actually 4 Dora.
They can get all triplets now. It's a bit hard because the tiles are in other people's hands, but and there's no draws left, so it's not gonna.
Gutsy move, but unfortunately probably not going to happen with the last draw of the game. Kitty Loaf is going just like, what are you all doing?
Oh, they can call for a Tenpai though. That's an interesting decision, and they don't do it.
They don't call.
Tenpai points are a tough thing to balance because a lot of times, like, newer players will overvalue them and then push too much for just Tenpai, but then on the flip side, like, the intermediate players will often undervalue the Tenpai points and just give them up too easily. So, like, it's a tough balancing act where you don't want to be too reckless, but you don't want to leave points on the board that you could have had. So
that's a good point. Very good point there, DDR Dan.
This game is still in South 3, and still Fierce and Aggro feeling pretty comfortable with their top 2. And Aggro is still drawing good hands. So right now, Aggro looks to have the best hand, but no one else has a great hand to speak about. Wu-Tang Forever might shift over to a flush hand, and it looks like that's what they're gonna do. Kitty Loaf is also going for a flush hand. Aggro, though, still has the best hand, and they're 1 away. And Aggro has a Dora and a potential E-Peiko. So Kitty Loaf gets closer to that flush hand.
And it looks like Aggro really trying to just not win, but getting into Tenpais, like getting close to Tenpais. Like,
yeah.
Let's see if they draw the 5, but it looks like 2 are in Pierce's hand, so.
Oh, Wu-Tang Forever could get a big flush hand.
Yes, Wu-Tang, or maybe even Daisangen, the Daisangen dream. That would be nice, huh?
Oh, no call.
No call.
So it's tough because Kitty Loaf and Wu-Tang Forever are both competing for flush hands, so they're going to be holding a lot of the same tiles. Call this?
Call this?
No call still.
No call. I'm surprised they didn't call the South because that added another Han.
Yeah.
Oh, the dream. Show Sangen.
I know. For me, I would be happy with the Mangan here, but they're trying to go for even more.
Yeah.
But that gives Fierce the time to get to Tenpai.
No con. No con? Oh, there's the con! Oh, yes. Even one more. Oh, they didn't get any Dora, but still. Aggro's, maybe this is the Aggro that we're not going to see. They deal this out with the Wu-Tang, and they do call this one. Red Dragon now in Tenpai, full flush. No, excuse me, half flush.
Oh no!
Oh, Kitty Loaf, no! The dueling half flush, dueling two flush hands wanted to go.
Well,
there's the Mangan.
As we always say, as long as you have a dealer turn, there's some hope. So.
That's right. Kitty Loaf, it is your turn now. You have the dealership. 3,800 points. Just Renchan. Just keep your dealership. Oh no.
Fierce is trying to stop it really quickly though. Fierce is sweating a little bit because Wu-Tang Forever got a lot of points and now it's getting kind of close between the two of them. So
That could switch. They're no longer comfy. So maybe
Yeah.
Ferris just goes like, I want to end this. Go away, Liu Tang. Don't get another hand.
oh man, Fierce is going quick.
They're hoping to call that West, and it might come out of Kitty Love's hand.
Aggro has a con, but usually you don't want to call con when you're winning by this much.
Yeah, but
'Cause they'll get-
Aggro has proved us wrong, right?
Yeah.
In other parts of the game, so it's still interesting. Right?
Yep, we'll see what he does though.
See what he does.
If you're gonna call it, you usually call it earlier so that you can have more tiles in your hand that you can use.
And Ferris is in 10 pie, waiting on the 9 and 6 dots. No.
It
Kitty
could be
Love.
over at any point. Just a 6 or a 9 of circles will end it.
But Ferris already has 3 9s of
Yeah.
circles in their hand already, so. Kitty Loaf not feeling good right now.
Liu Tang Forever though has some hope here with the Dora.
Oh yeah, maybe be doing they might go for
They could
just
go for
a lot of
yeah.
things. Oh,
all triplets, I guess.
oh, and there's the zero. John 6 and Liu Tang Dream and Kitty Loaf. Oh, will that be enough? We'll see
Yeah,
when the points come. Was that the correct point decision?
Yeah. From what I saw, it's going to be enough, and it'll be Fierce and Aggro in the top 2. And moving on.
There you have it. Semifinals here at the AnimEVO Mahjong Soul Tournament. Aggro and Fierce moving on. While Liu Tang and Kitty Loaf, thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
try.
after that huge win to qualify for top 8 from Aggro, that's 2 consecutive wins after that. So now they're going to go into the finals with a pretty high score, starting score.
True. Even though that it's halved, they have a very good. They're going in as 2 first places.
Yeah.
Goes to
And
show
then-
you anything can happen in Mahjong because Aggro was not a favorite in top 32
Yeah.
by any means, but it took that last game for it to go. And as you can see, 62 plus 62.
And then we had that story about Fierce. This might be their last event, and then sounds like they're going to retire after this. And it would be something if they can retire on a win, because
Yes.
they're going to be on the final table.
Maybe this will give Fire Fierce enough to stay into Mahjong, and
Maybe.
yeah, maybe because even though Aggro has a big lead, anything can happen in the finals table. So
Yeah.
going back, oh no, our boy Light Pink Yoshi wasn't able to make it. They will be exiting the tournament. Court Composer had a very high points going in top 32. One of the top finishers, but unfortunately finishes last. But Nico Will holds on, won't. Maybe should be Nico Will again. Stays in first, and was first in the last. So 2 firsts from them, and also Jackius. I don't know too much of them, but very respectable second. The of the 2 between Fierce has the higher second placement and point total. So there you have it. Semifinals. Still action-packed games.
Yeah.
Good games, everybody.
So we're going to be signing off for the semifinals and switching to other commentators after for the finals. So I hope everyone enjoyed the semifinals. It was pretty intense, I'd say.
Yeah, it was. And thank you, DDR Dan, for your expert commentary. I've commentated with you for the top 32 and these semifinals, and it's been again really great when we played Mahjong at Evo, and now we're commentating AnimEVO Mahjong event. It's nice to see things just kind of progressed, come kind of full circle again. Thanks to Tipzntrix for being the streamer. The next commentators will be Tipzntrix and J-Cakes, the new Ultra David and Chen, or maybe Z and Tasty Steve, or I don't know, maybe Sajam and something. I don't know.
All depends on how good we can do sponsor reads, right?
So I'm gonna. So tips and tricks. Should we be signing off? This is the
Yeah.
F man.
So we are going to be taking about, I think, a 10-minute break here while the players get ready for finals. You know, it's sort of the halfway point, giving them a little room to maybe get food, get handled. In the meantime, I'd like to give a shout out again to all the AnimEVO staff, the TOs, you know, all the commentators working with me, Frenetic and DDR Dan, the other streamer, Panda Pfizer, who's doing well. And we've got all the players and all the viewers out there, viewers like you. Thank you for watching. We're still here. We are getting ready for the finals, and also like to make a shout out to Yostar and Cat Food Studios. Yostar has donated these rewards. For first place, 5 summon scrolls and 50,000 coppers. Second place, 20,000 coppers. Third place, 15,000 coppers. And fourth place with 10,000 coppers. So, if all goes well, you might see Mahjong Soul next year. Everyone put in a kind word, and we've got some stories for you when we come back getting ready for finals. So thanks, and stay tuned. Hey, we are back. Here I am, Tipzntrix in the flesh, getting ready for finals here with my commentating partner, J Cakes.
Ayaya.
All right, so we've got a couple quick stories for you. The game is coming in soon, but here we'll look at the final table, and this is very common in Mahjong tournaments. When you carry scores over from previous rounds, the scores are halved for each player, so that each player doesn't feel quite so, out of it, because they only have 2 more games to play. Yeah. So you see Aggro here still about 28 points ahead of last, Furious. So there's about 28 points between the pack. That's less than a single first to last swap. So it's really anyone's game still. And as we remember, Jay and I were there when we popped into Aggro's game and they had 80,000 points. Aggro's here from an insane comeback in the top 32.
Sorry.
You can see Nico won't, who's just been playing strong all tournament. Nico won't. Frenetic called them Nico will because just they had so many wins. They were never really in danger of being eliminated. And so, it's not as exciting, but that's the kind of strong play. If you don't have any pressure about getting in, you can focus and you don't have to get rattled at all. And we have Jackius here, who's also been playing pretty strong. A little bit of an unknown, but more props to them for making it this far. And rounding out the list, we have Furious. Furious in the scramble, in the very last, the 6th game of scramble, got a 100,000 point game in order to make the top 32 just barely. Furious also planning on retiring from competitive Mahjong, but maybe with a win here might change their mind, maybe not. We will see.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta see. Like, it would be the true kind of the story, the retiring person who's gotta start off 4th in the final table, and then you just run through, right?
Right. I mean, honestly, I'm rooting for everyone here. I want to see a great game. Everyone has their own story to tell. Everyone has their own amazing road to the finals. And I'm excited because they are beginning.
Yes, let's go!
Here we go! Alright. And... Oops.
We have...
Mistakes were made. Okay. Go ahead.
We have Jackius in the east seat, Ferris in the south seat, Nico Ward in the west seat, and Aggro in the north seat. Dora is the almighty Sanso. Damn Tips, I thought you'd back me up there.
The Sanso! Yeah, I'm just trying to get the scores in here. Oh, and another one for Jackius. Yeah, just hold tight with me while I put them in.
The very notable thing being that Jackius has picked up 2 Dora in the 3-star. We'll have a hard time getting that all simples hand with the pair of Souths, but I mean, you can never complain about that. The big hand to me is Furious on the right here with the half flush already Tempai winning for the edge 3-pin weight for half flush Red Dragon. So this is a nice 5200, which would be really we're back. Nico Warrant seems to have reached, waiting for the, I believe that's edge 3 bamboo, which is all eaten up by Jackius. So Nico Warrant is kind of swimming on dry land here.
Yep, that's right.
Nico Warrant is not in a good position. However, we do see Aggro call down their hand, and we'll take the cheap win, 1,000 points. But really shutting down 2 monster hands, one being like a Dora 3 from the dealer, the other being a half flush, and well, from their perspective, a Ricci that they can't really see the value of. So that's a big win. That's a big win in terms of, you know, just not having to swim uphill or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if Aggro knows just how many mines they diffused there. Coming up with this hand, Fierce has just drawn a second Dora and might be looking at a half flush. No completed sets yet. Nico won't on the right. 1 to 7. No, they're missing the 6 of Sozu. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a couple 7s. Still a very nice shape. Across the table, Aggro does have the 5, 6, 7 in the Sozu and some good two-sided shapes. And Jackius on the left has the 5, 6, 7, 8. In fact, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So some good shapes there and the possible fast call on the red dragon. And now North fits in. That's 4 pairs, possible half flush. And even if they don't want to go 7 pairs, Jackius has a lot of routes to value here.
Very nice 2-pin draw there for Aggro. Basically turns that hand from very ugly to very pretty.
Oh, interesting. Cuts the 5 out of the 5, 6, 7. I guess, you know, that's a case of Aggro having too many good shapes. You have to just cut one of
I
them.
would say so too. Oh, nice. Aggro drew a really nice tile. Now that if he draws the 2-mon, you can have a 1, 2, 3 mixed triple sequences.
That's right.
Could turn that hand up into a grenade. Furious did call the 2-mon, leaving themselves the option, going for that
Yeah, the half flush.
flush Dora 2, or maybe even a pure straight Dora 2.
Uh-oh, trouble. Trouble here for Furious in the
no.
dealer slot. Ayya!
Oh, yeah. Aggro just too fast.
Aggro with
Smashes out that
another
1,000 point hand with mixed triple sequences in the 1, 2, 3 only.
That's right. Another 1,000 point hand diffusing some real big monsters on the table. It's not only about the points you get, it's about the points you deny your opponents. This hand,
Absolutely.
we've got Nico won't with 3 pairs and the 6-7 in the Pinzu. That's the Dora meld. It's connected. Aggro on the right already has 3 pin. 3 of the 3 pin. And a pair of red dragons if they're going for another quick hand. Jackius across the table, 5 pairs, 1 away from 7 pairs. That south is not their win, so it's not worth a Han. On the left, we've got Furious with a 6, 7, 8 in Sozu and a couple decent two-sided weights and a pair. So Furious could have a Pinfu hand coming up. Well, Aggro making a move here. Probably relying on those red dragons.
Aggro very seems to have the game plan of just like just shut everyone else down. Really, it seems like it. I mean, they've gone for 3 very cheap hands. To their credit, you know, always ended up on a good weight, and you know, ends up shutting down more expensive hands. Although that's not important. What's more important is Jackius being 1 away from Suanko.
Oh! That's right. Jackie has drawn 2 tiles while we were talking. It does not seem to be willing to go for the Sananko. Just doesn't think about 1, 2, 3 pin. Would rather have the safe tile and go all the way. Oh, another 2 comes through, although probably wouldn't have mattered all that much in the long run. Nico won't find a tile here. That's a second meld for them. Looking to cut a pair, yep. Whoa, no!
Oh!
Almost goes with the Ricci!
Jackius!
Is this our first Yakuman of the tournament? No.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh!
2
I haven't! Oh no!
Are you kidding me?
What a blow up!
What?
Suanko! Yakuman!
What?
And that changes the landscape. Aggro trying to deny hands could not deny the one that mattered the most here. Ooh.
What the? What? Wait, that happened so quickly.
Yeah, it was the first turn after Tenpai. That was, you know, technical Ipatsu that, you know, doesn't count if you have a Yakuman, but...
Okay, yeah, because the thing that, like, it was interesting was that out of, like, Suanko weights, it was a very good Suanko weight. It was just, like, it had 2 life tiles in the wall, which is better than you can ask.
Right.
Yeah, so I was just like, this is surprisingly good, even though the 6-man doesn't look particularly good. And well, he ripped it off. So he ripped it out from the top of the deck. So
Top deck power.
Very good. All right, that changes. Well, that literally changes everything. Yeah. Sorry, I need to breathe.
Aggro here going for the half flush. Has a Dora and a Yakuhai, which would make it Mangan level. That's 12,000 as dealer. I mean, Aggro's already has, you know, from the round of 8, a pretty high score, so don't count them out yet, especially if they land this. In fact, don't really count anyone out yet, because there's still a whole South round to go. On the right, Jackius, not a bad hand here to keep with the flow. You know, they have 7, 8, 9, so they have multiple two-sided weights and a pair. Jackius 1 away now, actually. Across the table, Furious, not too bad either. Doesn't really look like value, but maybe could connect to the Dora. Speaking of Dora, Aggro draws another one, gets into Tempai. This is still a Mangan, I believe. Yeah, it's still only 5 Han, so still Mangan, but now Tempai. Nico won't on the left, also 1 away, but not too value.
Oh, Jackius
survives. Jackius survives,
Okay.
yeah. Especially if Jackius deals in, that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. Look, Suanko is nice, but like, you can't lose half the difference you made in the Suanko in a moment of deal in.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Everyone just drawing their tiles. It is Luck City today. Just pull the tile in.
So, Aggro gonna make Jackius sweat for it. Green, half flush. Dora 2, 4,000 points all. Doesn't quite make up the gap, but I mean, look at this gap and tell me there was a Suanko. I could conceivably not believe it.
Oh man. Sumo hour. You know, they say the #1 skill to have in Mahjong is the ability to draw your tile when you need it. I think we're seeing it on full display right now. So we've got Aggro here with a couple pairs. Oh, that's an important one. That green dragon. Maybe go back to their old path of just calling small hands to shut down other hands. On the right, Jackius. Only shapes right now, no full melds. Across the table, Furious looking like it's their time to shine. Like Furious, he's got some decent tiles, maybe some value. No Dora, unfortunately. The Dora was discarded, but that could easily reach Mangan. And on the left, Nico won't. Not looking too great this time. Has Nico won't's luck fountain run out? Okay, Aggro, yes, going for a quick hand again. Looks to be 2 away still, though. Well, Furious makes it to Tempai. That is dangerous tile. I don't even have to... Okay, avoids it. Avoids it for now. Aggro could be in trouble as well, depending on how their weight goes and how willing they are to push. Furious not sumoing yet. Still hasn't quite got that skill down. the Ipatsu skill.
Why are you gonna do it? Why are you gonna do him like that? Come on.
Still 2 tiles left in the wall though, so quite possible.
Look, that Suanko only had 2 tiles left in the wall, so you know, let's give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, it looks like Jackius just folding here, and Aggro also looking. Oh, there it is!
Oh,
Another
nice.
one! Another
Very
one!
nice.
Another one! No Ura, but still Mangan. That Ura, I think Furious would have loved that Ura. That Ura would have been huge here. But...
Ura would have been super important there, bumping up to Hanuman. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. Like,
started out with a bang, multiple bangs.
It did. The East round was that's not a normal
round.
Right.
Jackius here has
kind of scripted. I'm not gonna lie.
Jackius here has a full meld, a couple of pairs and a 2-sided weight. Fierce on the right, almost on the way to half flush, but has a Dora in the wrong suit. So let's see how Furious takes this hand. Across the table, Nico won't. Yeah, just finishes a meld there with a 7, 8, 9, so that is big. But the Dora is isolated in Nico's hand, and does start cutting a pair, so giving up on the 7 pairs. On the left, Aggro 2 tiles away from a full flush Tempai. No way. One tile away from a full flip.
Stop. Come on. Come off it. No. Come on. Come on.
Another
This
one.
is not fair.
Oh, is that Tempai? I don't think so.
No, I don't
No,
think
it's
so.
not.
I don't think so.
Plus, I think Aggro is looking for the full flush here.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Aggro would skip a win. Even half flush is pretty nice, but that full flush.
Yeah, if Aggro
That
doesn't hurry up
full
though,
flush is
if
a-
Aggro doesn't hurry up, Jackies is gonna win on that red dragon. Jackies is one away here. Oh,
Well, that's Tempai, I think.
Oh, it looks like that's a Tempai.
Yeah.
Jackies also
1-1-7-7.
Tempai, but
Oh, no,
but
wait!
oh, the Suanko is fading fast. Oh. Oh,
that's a 12,000
closed.
swing, and
Full flush.
That's Aggro in the lead.
Oh, and there it goes. As fast as it came.
Oh,
Jackies with the emote.
no.
Aggro with the emote. The emotes are coming out now, even in the finals.
Alright. Now, Tips. Would you believe me if there was a Suanko in? Because look at this scoreline. It does not indicate that a Suanko happened.
man.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
oh my
Fierce
God.
Fierce actually already won away from Tempai. Hasn't called a single tile, but no value. Richi no mi. Richi only. On the right, Nico does not have a fighting hand if Fierce gets the Tempai that quickly. Yeah, Nico's doesn't seem to have too much value or shapes. Across the table, Aggro might have a fighting hand, though. Already has a triplet of the green dragon. Has an isolated Dora that might slow their hand down, and they might be looking for a half flush. So Aggro might actually end up too slow, we'll see. On the left, Jackius probably not going all the way to a half flush, but one away from one away from Tempai, Jackius. That will do it, yeah. Gives up on the half flush completely, but now Tempai. That is not Tempai for
chance to
Furious.
pivot into a half flush or a full flush here from Furious. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, that is a lot of tiles though. Especially after seeing Jackies with two calls already to pivot to a full flush. I mean, I guess position-wise, maybe it makes sense, but that's too many tiles, I think.
Well, it's a lot of tiles, so like I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's not hard, but it's one of those things where like, what does it do for you to win a reach only? It gives you another dealership. That's fine, but then you're hinging on winning that dealership. Whereas if you can go into a half flush or a full flush, you win 12,000 points, which will do you a hell of a lot.
Right. This is a weight improvement for Jackius, and it pays off immediately. Tune, not quite enough to put first place. Not quite enough for Jackies to get first place. That was some pretty awkward wording on my part, but 1,000 away. And there is still a game to go after this, so it's not be-all end-all here. Nico won't on their last dealership looking for something here. Has 2 Dora, but needs a faster hand. We'll see what happens. Aggro on the right has the 5-6-7. That's a Dora meld. That's not bad. Across the table, Jackius does not have any melds, but does have 4 pairs, and that is a triplet of the 1-so. And on the left, Fierce also with no melds, but a couple 2-sided weights and a couple pairs, so we'll see.
No. Let's not look at Nico Won's hand and say it needs to have a faster hand. This is above average. I want to say that the entire Hanshan has been stilted.
It's thrown our expectations off.
Speed and hand quality. This is a pretty good hand. Like, this is well above average. People were just drawing exceptionally well on this table. Like, look at Jackie.
Oh, with that 8-pin calling, definitely looking more palatable for Nico won't here. Does now have 5 melds, 5 potential shapes that are Tanya or all simples. So may call this. This is gonna be a hard hand, I think, for Nico won't to get completely closed. Oh, Aggro fills in. Oh, Aggro fills in the inside weight. 3-sided weight. One of the weights is Dora. And with the sumo... Oh, Fierce doesn't immediately do it. Fierce with the evasion. Nico won't does start calling. But Aggro's hand is insane. Aggro's hand is just nutty right now. Oh, that helps. These two tiles are safe.
Word going for the fight.
These two tiles are safe for Nico. Oh, that helps, but it's not quite Tenpai. Has to think about whether pushing the 1 is reasonable here. Goes for it.
I don't think you got anything better to. Oh. Alright, no error. So that's 1-3-2-6.
Hey.
Not good for Nico Warren, but it could have been worse. Not good at all, but you're not going to hear me justify that.
Right.
That's a very nice win for Nico Warren.
Oh man.
Puts them in a nifty lead, right? So this is not a safe lead, not even close to it actually. Jackius can win quite a few hands and still upset first place, but you know, being in the lead is never something that anyone should say is in a bad position at all. So.
Right. Yeah, Jackius is 1 Mangan away, and it doesn't have to be sumo or direct hit. It can just be off anyone. And
you're gonna go one early Tenpai.
This is interesting because they didn't Ricci. Probably looking for something else, but where's the value? Maybe looking for more Dora?
Wager a guess. I think they figured the desperation of their situation and might actually force in like a Sananko. So I'm gonna see. I'm thinking
and that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
Nico won't looking for their own Suanko maybe. Looking to match. Oh no! Oh yes! Oh maybe! I don't even know how I feel about this. Finds another 3 so 1 away.
Oh, you've got the Suji
or is
trap
it
as
2
well?
away? No, it's
Surely
1 away, right?
Just Ricci. Oh wait, are they actually going for a Suanko?
Going for the Suanko. No, it is 2 away from Suanko.
Oh, actually, you know what they're going for? If they sumo, they're gonna Mangan anyways, so they don't need to Ricci because they don't want to Ron because Ron is too cheap.
Right.
But if they can draw like a 6 or a 7 or an 8, they can start going for that Toy or Suanko.
Yeah, splitting the difference.
Exactly.
Able to take the sumo.
Like even if Nico weren't Ricci, they wouldn't take the win off anyone else. So why Ricci when you could go for a Suanko?
Right. A direct hit Suanko off somebody could change things, but that would be hard. Oh, Jackie is reaching. I wonder if Nico will change their mind here. Oh, a con opportunity. I mean, with extra Uradora on the table, maybe just throw the stick in now. Maybe just Ricci. Definitely thinking about it.
So.
This is also dangerous tile. Okay, goes for it.
But you're not in the position to care about dangerous
tiles,
surely.
Right. Passes it. Needs the Sananko, I guess. Passes the win.
He passed the win on the
Passes the win looking for Sananko.
What?
That was Ipatsu. Ayya, does not pay off. I might actually give Jackius first. Yeah, that's 2 Ura. Jackius takes first. That's a Haneman. Haneman.
Okay.
Ayya.
Okay, so I really like that Nico won't skip the first Tenpai to try and go for something bigger, but I don't think I like skipping the win there. I wonder. I guess if they sumo, they can upset to 3rd place, whereas if they run, they don't really have a hope for it.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I mean, I can see the logic behind it.
Yeah,
but it's hard when someone else is already Ricci.
I agree with that. I think it's just but the weight is too awful, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, but you know, I mean, it would definitely be relying on Ura a lot to get that to happen. So, I mean, Sananko is 2 extra Han. And maybe even the possibility of upsetting like 2nd place with like 4 or 8 Uradora, something like that. You know, on the super insane case. But
yeah.
In any case, you know, the decision was made. Nico has to sleep in the bed they've made, and unfortunately, you know, I think it was Jackius, right? Jackius's weight was pretty strong and just pulled it in.
6'9" Pensu.
Yeah. All right, so let us look at what that has done to the scores. Here we are after game 1. And so we have Aggro on top at a 50.1, Jackius at 48.3, then Furious at minus 10.7, and Nico at minus 30.35. So now, unlike the game we watched with Aggro, Aggro's in the position of defending their large lead. Well, not against Jackius, actually. Aggro is definitely pretty close to Jackius, but against the other two, it's a sizable lead. But just like the previous games we've watched, there is still the possibility of those players in the negative scoring a monster game.
I wanted on the record that this was the scoreline where Wave made the run back through the cat food bolt.
Right.
Oh.
Exactly.
So I wanted on the record that don't count Furious out, and especially don't count Nico won't out. I know it seems weird to say someone deep blast, don't count them out, but they made some very, very strong plays. Some very, very realizing the desperation of this situation and crafting a hand out of nowhere plays.
I'm not counting anyone out. Nobody at all. You could see another Suanko in East again. That was wild. And yeah, Jackius actually did with that Mangan Haneman, even because of the Uradora, was able to take back first place from Aggro, who had got a couple direct hits that had put them in first, midway through South Round.
Not to mention the Suanko. just in case we hadn't talked about it, we miss things as commentators. Sometimes our lives get so busy we don't see the hands in front of us. But there was a Suanko, and we were very lucky to just pick that one up.
Oh my goodness! That's the first stream Yakuman, I think, for the tournament. There were Yakumans in the scramble, but I don't know if any were caught on stream. None on my stream, anyway. But yeah, we've got one more game to go to decide it all. And here is what the players are playing for. Rewards provided by Yostar and Cat Food Studio. First place, 5 summon scrolls and 50,000 copper. Second place with 20,000 copper. Third place with 15,000 copper. And fourth place with 10,000 copper. We are getting ready for that final table. Oh man. Can we see another massive comeback? I mean, no matter what we see, I think we're going to see some pretty great Mahjong.
Absolutely. So the interesting dynamic is now that, especially Nico won't, but Furious on a lesser but still very relevant degree, they will be playing weirdly. So the players in the first two positions are only separated by 2 points. So all they care about is placing on top of each other, and they only need to start calculating if Furious or Nico won't end up being a huge first place or something like that.
Right.
So so they have to maneuver around to try and just place above one another. However, Nico won't and Furious will be pushing almost everything. I think Nico won't. I can't imagine a scenario where they fold. If they have one door in their hand, I think they almost always have to push it, just because of how many of the situations of trying to get to first place. So it's gonna be pretty it's gonna throw a wrench in things. You can't Aggro and Jackius can't assume the other players are playing normally anymore with normal push-fold conditions.
Yes, that is definitely true. The score lines change a lot of things, and we've been seeing that because we've been streaming, at least this weekend. Top 32, top 8 scores change things because there are so few games in these rounds. In the scramble phase, you know, the players had 6 rounds to collate their score, but because they've had 4 in yesterday or 2 games today, like already the feeling of playing positionally based on your score has sunk in, and they've had to change their play a lot. It's it allows you to see things you wouldn't normally see, like Suanko and passing up Ipatsu wins in order to try and hit your Sanankos. Yeah. That's why it's good to watch tournaments. You don't see this stuff all the time playing in ranked on Mahjong Soul, you know, in Gold Jade Room or in Tenho and your Tokujo. People don't usually pass Ipatsu wins because they don't have any reason to. Yeah. So exciting. We're getting ready for our final game. You know, I am going to line up all the scores and the names because I can see the game now, so I know the order of the players. And these scores, I've got them here. Oh man, I wonder if we can see another Yaku. Is that being too greedy?
I don't doubt that at least one time Nico Won't is probably going to craft a pretty crappy but only 6 terminal or honor starting hand into a Kokushu push. I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty certain about that.
The necessity of the situation, right?
The necessity of this. Yes, exactly.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. The sands in the depths of hell are magical sand. Innovation.
War never changes.
Necessity is the mother of invention. War never changes. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Is that what's accurate to the situation? War never changes. Yeah, I do not believe there's double Yakuman. I can. So that is going to be interesting. Because the double Yakuman are actually a thing that people will think about when it gets to a situation like this. You know?
Yes.
And we were talking about it yesterday when I think it was no one on Court Composer's game where Court Composer came first. Alright, here we are.
Right, so we have Aggro in the east seat, Nico Wort in the south seat, Furious in the west seat, and Jackius in the north seat. Dora is the 7-man. Is everyone have a normal hand?
Is that possible? I mean, Aggro's is pretty fast here, but... but I guess comparatively, right?
No, surely not.
Surely not.
Is everyone's hands progressing at normal speed? No.
I feel like it's a little faster than usual. Like, Aggro definitely has a fast hand here, and the possibility of calling it, although I kind of doubt they will. Oh.
Okay, this is where I'm interested in. Look at Nico Wort. Their hand is kind of cheap. It's going to be like a Pinfu. Reach Pinfu.
Yep.
Given that how stuck they are going to try and force something expensive. Yeah. I'm just curious. I don't actually know.
What can you force from this? Maybe if they draw a Dora, that's like the most they can force. Maybe they'll cut the 9-man pair and try and force like Dora and maybe Tanyao as the pair. But other than that, it's hard to see what could be added because there is a sort of Oh, there's the Dora. Let's see how Nico plays it.
Speak of the devil, I suppose.
See how Nico plays it. Because the 9-pin also makes it hard. Oh, but there it is. 9-pin comes out looking for that all simples or Tanya or something. But the 9-man is also an issue. Okay, so that's a pair that can be swapped. The 4-4 pair now. If you connect the Dora with the 5 or even the 9, Dora can be used. So you're right. You can see Nico just scrounging for value.
That's
And
so
it's kind of
control was
working.
insane.
One away here for Nico. If they get the 6-mon, they successful. Oh!
Oh my god!
Just call it! Just see what happens. Nico Tempa. Problem is, look at all of Nico's weights. 6 of them are in players' hands. Jackius might release it at some point, but that's 7. That is all 8 tiles. Oh no. It's only up to Jackius to release one.
Okay, but oh no, Fierce actually completed that block.
Yeah, the 4, 5, 6.
Okay, the only person who's in a modicum of danger is Aggro here. Oh, actually, maybe Jackius if they draw a 4-7.
Yeah, I think Jackius
It depends on
needs
how
a better.
aggressive these two players decide to play.
Yeah, I think Jackius would need to see a better line, like some better tiles in their hand before they move. Aggro might do it, but it's hard to see that happening. There's only 7 tiles left. Yeah, I think this is really unfortunate. Imagine not seeing a single of your tile on the discard. They're just all in other players' hands. Yeah. Oh, this might be it though. If Jackius feels... No, yeah, I mean, Jackius is so far from Tempai there, it wouldn't make too much sense. Ooh.
Alright, so we have 2 Tempais, 1 for Furious, 1 for Nico Won't. Big thing about that, it does pass Aggro's dealership, which is for better or for worse, I guess, because Aggro doesn't need to win a lot, they just need to place above Jackius, so maybe they are okay with avoiding a dealer penalty.
Right.
Perhaps?
Nico Won't here has a Dora and drawing towards a half flush. It looks like they are moving down that route. Fierce on the right has a triple 6-0 and a couple 7-0 there. They also have another 2-sided weight and a lone Dora across the table. Jackius also another lone Dora, but Jackius is west and that is their wind. Maybe even more willing to hold on to it. On the left, Aggro has a couple of shapes, a 2-sided weight, a couple inside weights. That's another 2-sided weight, but nothing too fast. So I actually like Nico's chances here. Oh, that's interesting, but probably not enticing enough. It is 4 pairs though. Oh, do you call that?
Ooh,
Would you call that?
Would I call that?
Yeah.
I think you have to.
Alright, so cut out the 1-0 then, or are you looking at possible possible all triplets?
I probably cut out the 1, so I wanna go for a flush, and try and squeeze things out. So this is something that's the unintentional. I have no idea how to say
Nico
this.
passes the 1-0 call.
Unintentional seat placement affecting gameplay. I'm not going to be able to say that, not awkwardly. So, Nico Warrant has to push almost all of their hands, which has the unexpected and kind of bad luck for them benefit of Fierce on the right highly incentivizes open hands because
Right. Oh, and hits the Dora. Oh no, Nico, not like this. If Nico gets greedy for the full flush, this is going to be a problem.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is actually just a good description of exactly what can happen. Is that Furious gets all these free tiles from Nico Warrant because Nico Warrant has to push everything because they're in such a hard stuck last position. But if you look what Aggro did, Aggro started folding the instant they saw the 1-pin pawn. Nico Warrant rarely gets things. So when they have hands that they have to open,
right,
they're not going to get them.
It is quite difficult. Let's see if Nico plays greedy for the full flush or holds on to the Dora and tries to go for the half flush. In fact, there are some tiles that Nico could draw that don't even allow them to wait on the Dora, so that could be tough. Oh, this is... No, it's not Tempai. Okay, cuts the 7. Oh, but it doesn't matter how much Nico plays defense. Furious with the sumo, and that is a big sumo. That is a manga.
That is a big one. That is, yeah, that's super important for Furious there.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so that is just a full description of the the randomness of even a seat order based on point positioning, completely affecting gameplay and thereby completely affecting who can and can't win a hand most of the time.
Right, and
It's just bad luck that Nika Nika won't happen to place to the left of Fierce, which means that, you know, oh sorry, that's not fair to say, but like, yeah, Nika Nika Word just will give away a lot of tiles by necessity, and it's unlucky that Furious is not on his left,
right,
where Furious might have to push everything.
that's right. Fierce here with another fast hand. It has a door in it, so it also has chance to be more highly valued and could even hit Pure Straight or Itsu. We got Jackius on the right, making an outside hand, it looks like. Does have the white dragon, so can choose to make a smaller hand if the weights come through in a different way, but looks like Jackius has a lot of different ways. Fierce drawing another door, Jackius drawing a Dora now, but Jackius much less able to use it. Across the table, Aggro does have a hand that is one away. That was fast. And they can call the Easts to go into Tenpai. On the left, Nico Nico won't. Not a terrible hand. It's got 5 pairs, and it is all insides. Oh, Ricci, Aggro gets it closed. Nico has to decide here, finding a triplet. Do they go for 7 pairs? Or do they try and defend against the Ricci or what? Cutting a pair. Looks like a defense against the Ricci. At least doesn't want to deal into E-Pods. Does not make the call on the 4 pin either. Oh, Fierce finds Tenpai, goes right in against it. Fierce has 2 Dora, and I believe that's a 369 weight. It is. Oh no, Nico. Okay, Nico's still playing defense here. Nico avoiding the deal.
We saw an interesting decision before from Furious when they had a choice between going for the mixed triple sequences in the 6, 7, 8, or going for the 369 Pinzu weight, and yeah, this seems like they've just wanted to go for a higher weight, try and cash in those 2 Dora, which makes sense to me.
Yep. Nico dangerously close to dealing in, but looks like they've been playing defense, so it might not happen. Jackius also has a couple problems, but also looks like they've folded. Jackius running out of tiles though to defend against 2 Riccis. We'll have to see what they draw, if they can safely maneuver around. Nico picking up a Dora, very scary. Jackius finishes a meld. It's technically 1 away from Tenpai, and Fierce Sumo. And
I'm getting flashbacks to cat food now. This is a really
finds the Ura for the Haneman.
Finds the Ura. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is big, especially as dealer.
What?
As dealer, that's worth 6,000 points instead of 4,000. The difference between Mangan and Haneman. A massive Ura.
Now Aggro and Jackius can no longer count out Furious. They
That's
have
right.
to put Furious into their calculations.
That's right.
Oh god, and we have to put Furious into the
This
calculations.
is another
What
good
what's
hand
the-
from Furious. It's 2 away and potentially able to be called to Tenpai. Of course, calling would lose most of its value, but it is a possibility if Fierce just wants to keep dealership. Jackius on the right, struggling a bit, but does have 4, 5, 6 mon. Across the table, Aggro with a monster hand so far. That is a pair. I mean, another pair. They did have the green dragons already. Oh, and on the left, Nico won't. Also with a nice hand here, but I don't know if they can use the Dora. It's a lot of pairs. That is a triplet. Yeah, and so Nico cuts the Dora, might go half flush. If Nico gets that closed, it could be big. If Nico gets it open, it's not quite as scary. And Aggro looking to shut everyone down here. Aggro technically in last place right now with no Yaku in their hand.
Yeah, no Yaku. I'm wondering
Going for half flush.
Oh, hard shoving that. Oh, I didn't see that actually.
Oh, Jackius with a big draw there. They still need one more big draw though to get to Tenpai. That's gonna be a hard draw.
Oh wait, did Aggro turn down the 9 pin for Tenpai?
I don't know if does the 9 pin get Tenpai?
Yeah, on the inside 5 pin weight.
You're right. I don't know. Maybe scared of dealing the 8, so 2 Furious. Oh! Nico has it closed!
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The Norths are still in the wall! The Norths are still in the wall!
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a deal-in tile, but Aggro's been
Ay-ya-ya.
playing safe. Okay, so Aggro doesn't deal it.
Right. Sorry. Breathe. I mean, 6 would be still a not great deal in, but like, you know.
Right. The Norths are still in the wall. 7 7 mon are out. 6 mon are all accounted for as well. Aggro making a chi, but will still have to cut that tile.
Furious out. Interesting.
Yeah, Fierce folded. Jackius notices the danger on the North, doesn't cut it.
Mm.
Oh, a Dora. I mean, Dora does look
Dora's
pretty
fine.
safe. Yeah, and Dora goes
does.
through. Will Jackius actually go for this hand if it comes? Will be interesting to see, because that North is a deal in tile.
I don't know. This is such a hard situation to be in.
Still 1 North in the wall. But is in the live of the... Oh, that's Tempai.
for
But
Aggro.
Aggro can actually remove the 6 mon now. It'd be pretty scary though. Like, Aggro's been
Yeah,
holding
it'd
it for
be
reasons.
terrifying.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's too terrifying. Makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense. It's not a nice tile to cut. But
Oh
no.
no!
We have
No.
one turn. He's got 1 turn to draw into a safer tile than that.
Right? Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. We're clear. Safe. Safe.
Unfortunate for Nico here. Found the closed half flush at the beginning of the second discard. Just could not get it to come through from the other players. Did not quite have the sumo power there. And we are in East 4. Jackius is dealer. Jackius has a couple good shapes. In fact, has 3 two-sided weights there. On the right, Aggro, a lot of isolated honors, but does have 7-8 in the Dora. Across the table, Nico has a couple Dora and maybe an inside hand. Very callable hand there. And a draw. Draws the 4-mon. Gets in there. And then Fierce on the left also has a pretty solid hand. Like 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the Sozu. 7, 8, 8, 9 in the Pinzu. And it's got a 4, 5 weight in the Manzu. So Fierce pretty fast here. I think is 2 away from Tempai. And that's a interesting draw from Nico. Nico probably looking to use both Dora, so we'll have to do a little bit of mangling their hand to accommodate the extra Dora. Oh, that's quite a draw. Still not quite Tempai, but imagine if Nico could just get the Dora here. Just 1 more Dora would be massive. There's only 1 left in the wall, but that would be a huge draw for Nico. That is an interesting draw as well. That is Tempai. It uses both Dora. Looking at, I believe, only 6-9. Only 6-9.
But that's a big hand.
Yeah, a lot of them are still in
one.
the wall. A lot of them are still in the wall. Jackie is holding on to 1 here, though, so that's 1 less for Nico. Oh, there's a Dora. Aggro might start getting
Jackius
aggro.
and Aggro basically sit on a knife's edge because they don't... Well, they have to account for Furious, but they don't also want to place below one another.
Right.
And dealing into anything big would basically screw them over.
Exactly. So you see Jackies
So-
here not improving their hand, just playing safe.
Yeah, so, man.
Yeah.
Oh, nice sumo. Very nice.
There it
very
is, the
nice,
sumo
very
power.
nice.
He was missing last hand.
One Ura would be massive.
Ura.
No Ura.
No Ura. That is a little bit heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
can't always expect Uradora.
Yeah, but that'll set them on the path to getting out of the hole that they're in.
Yeah. Thing is, Nico needs about a plus 80 shift, I believe. Yeah, about plus 80. So after Uma, so Uma could give them either 20 or 30 points. They still need a 60,000 point, 50 to 60,000 point lead. because they need to pass both Aggro and Jackius for first. I mean, we do have rewards for all 4 of these competitors, so there actually is a reason to play for second or third now to, you know, get a better prize. So maybe Nico won't shoot directly for first, but, you know, it's always nice to get those summon scrolls in the top spot. Let's see, Aggro has a choice here. Could go half flush or could take the quick win because they do have white dragons on the table. Oh, looks like they're going big. Cuts the 1-mon pair. Nico on the right, another good hand. Is Nico's flow coming back to him? I think it's 1 away. I think Nico's hand is actually... Yes, it is. And it's Tenpai now. Fierce is a triplet of 8-mon. All dangerous. Jackius is actually the most likely to release the 8-mon. But let's see if Jackius decides to play safe again. Because Jackius is still pretty far. Yeah, it doesn't even take the 1 to make the 1, 2, 3 in hand. So Jackius will probably deny those 2 5s and the 8 there. That only leaves 2 tiles left for Nico, but the sumo power has been strong these finals. Let's see if it can keep going. Aggro might also just deal it, because it's Aggro's dealer and they're going half flush, and that half flush does not include the Manzu suit.
Danger, 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 danger. Oh.
Here's where we get
harsh tile to draw.
Here's where we get a glimpse into Aggro's. Okay, goes with the 5. Still not technically a safe tile. Oh, now we get a real glimpse. Is Aggro willing to call? No. I mean, that wouldn't really improve
I don't
the
think that
hand
helps
that
his
much.
hand at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some situations where when I'm in half flush or full flush, I just try and take in as many of the same colored tiles in my suit in order to craft the weights that'll finish the hand. But this is a pretty dangerous situation for Aggro to do that in. Jackius might be tempted here. But they're still pretty far.
Out.
They are tempted!
Oh!
Jackius is tempted and Nico hits!
That's fortunate.
No Ura. No Ura. I'm sure
Only 3900.
Nico again really wanted the Ura. Like
Aggro's gonna be pretty ecstatic about that one.
Yeah, Nico denied Ura twice. 2 big Ura shots that could have been but weren't. Nico here with not too bad of a hand has the 3-sided weight in the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Sozu. Not calling, looking for value, and Yaku really. Fierce on the right with 2 Dora. They're connected in the 3, 3, 4, 5 Sozu shape. Got the 2, 3, 4 mon and now a double 7 pair. So Fierce on their way to scoring some points here as well. Jackius across the table. Cuts a pair, so no more 7 pairs, but Jackius might be able to call a quick green dragon. Jackius might actually need more points than that at this point. Aggro on the left has got 3 pairs, and just finished a 6, 7, 8 mon shape. Not too exciting, but it does have a fighting chance. Nico 1 away. Nico 1 away. Don't count anyone out yet.
Yeah, no one's done. Well, no one whose dealership doesn't need to be used is done yet. Aggro can get to first without their dealership. There's just a lot of stuff that can happen. Chief for Fierce putting them into an early 3-pin Tenpai.
Yeah, 3, 6
1, 2,
there.
3, 4.
Oh, Ricci chance for
boy,
Nico.
oh boy, oh boy,
exact
oh
same
boy,
weight.
oh boy.
Nico, we have head bump rules on in this tournament, so unfortunately Nico will take any tile from Fierce here. Any tile that Jackius or Aggro drops,
Oh, never
except
mind.
if
Just
Fierce
draw
draws
himself.
it.
Just draw himself.
Except if Fierce draws it. Really unfortunate for Nico here. The sumo power was too strong. But great for Fierce.
Absolutely.
Actually, maybe we should look into the scores right now. So Fierce again was
I can do some quick math if you want me to.
about 60 behind the pack.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
60.8 behind Aggro, 59 behind Jackius, A first to second, oh, first to third gap
That's
is
20.
20 points. So that already closes the gap by 40, which is
Yep.
already made up by the point difference. So
Yep.
currently Fierce is
Fierce
in the lead
is in the
by
lead.
about 6 points.
By 6 points, you mean 6,000. It's a weird
yeah,
rounding thing.
yeah.
Yeah, Fierce one away from Tempa here already. Fierce looking to take this home, making a strong dealership to maybe prevent Jackies or Aggro from mounting a comeback. Nico has a good hand as well, and that's a nice draw, but Nico needs a lot, and without a dealership, it's going to be tough. Like, Nico's actually already in that sort of needs 2 Yakuman kind of state. And that's just a little unfortunate that, you know, last hand went the way it did. Jackius has it's got the 1-2-3 meld in the Manzu and is coming together. Like, their hand is coming together. May need that last white dragon though, and I don't know if calling it is going to be enough. Maybe just take the small hand and play for your dealership in South 4. Across the table, Aggro's actually making a monster. Aggro one away from a monster mixed triples with Adora and maybe reach. If Aggro does call it though, it's only 2 Han. It's only mixed triples with Dora. So it looks callable, but will Aggro call it? I mean, it's going to be hard to find another 5 so, right? There's 2 on the table. I could see Aggro just calling the 5 so if they get a chance.
So ideally, Aggro would like to gain the 6,000 difference between them and Furious in this hand.
Oh, and Fierce
Nice
just goes for it.
Furious. 4 7-pin weight. Wanting to widen that gap, presumably.
Yeah. Aggro actually kind of playing a bit of
hard fold
defense
for
here.
Aggro.
I mean, Aggro can find a new pair, but
It's pretty hard fold though. You push yourself back quite a bit.
yeah. Oh, Jackie is moving. Jackie is moving into and that is a deal in tile. Yeah, but Aggro already having folded is not having. Oh, but finds the other. But that's no Yaku. No Yaku did not believe in the 3 so.
Yeah.
Jackius, how dare you? How dare you, Jackius? Oh, but that's 1 on though, because no Ricci.
Yep.
It is 40 Fu, so that's another 300 points, but Jackius needs more.
Yep. Jackius needs way more. Okay. Let's breathe. Let's bring it and regroup. So, Jackius needs to place above Aggro. Aggro needs to score about 8,000 points. An 8,000 difference to Furious. So something like a Mangan Sumo will be enough, right? But the problem is Aggro has gone from an ideal position to being in the handcrafting position where not every tempai is something they're going to be happy with, unlike someone who, say, Fierce, will just take the fastest route to tempai.
Right, and Jackius can even accept it because they have their dealer turned. So indeed, calls the white dragon for a cheap hand again. Could be seeing another white dragon only hand here from Jackius, but does have the chance to make all triplets if the right tiles come through. Not that one. But that does increase Jackius's tempai routes. And Nico, I think, is out. Even with direct hit Yakuman or Sumo Yakuman, I don't think Nico can make up the score, unfortunately, in one hand.
I imagine Nico would probably just play normally, I guess? Like, they're kind of out of it for everything, so they might as well just play a stable
does
game
Nico have a chance of pulling 3rd, though? Because like we said, 3rd does matter. Maybe a Yakuman direct hit on Furious.
Only because it's not Furious who's currently in danger.
Yeah, well,
if Furious was in danger, they'd have a chance.
If Nico passes Furious, like, even if it's a Sumo Yakuman, I think Nico might. Yeah, that's 20 points difference.
So. I don't think the point gap is that nice.
Yeah, I think it would have to be Yakuman direct hit on Furious for Nico to swap to 3rd. And that would be very hard with the current hand that Nico is running. Oh, and Jackius.
Nice.
Jackius catches it. Another white dragon only. This one 1,500 now because Jackius is dealer. So little by little.
It does put Aggro behind Jackius.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, what the hell?
Jackius,
pretty fast hand.
I think that's still 3 away though.
Yeah,
Aggro on
good
the
choice.
right has an interesting hand though. A lot of honors and a Dora. So that's interesting. The Norths obviously are
Ooh.
not Yakuhai for Aggro because Aggro's in the South seat, but could use the Reds. Thing is, Aggro needs a larger hand than that to take first, but might just be willing to settle for second. Nico across the table, not a Yakuman hand, but a very fast hand, so I don't know. I don't know if they'll just go for it and like pray for people to con around and they find like 10 Uradora. But we'll see what happens. Fierce on the left also has a fighting chance. Already has the 7-8-9 pin and a couple of... No, only one two-sided weight, but like a couple of pairs could happen. Jackie is moving fast here. You're right. It's going to be hard for Jackies to get that pure straight though because their pair is the 7-mon. So Jackies would have to
With
find a
one
new
Dora,
pair.
they don't need a pure straight. They can
That's
just go
fair.
for a reach Dora 1
Yeah,
or something like that.
we do have to remember that even if Jackies wins, we'll have to keep playing because Jackies is the dealer. So even if Jackies does end up in first, we do have to play more hands.
Ooh, interesting.
Interesting draw here. Could maybe pivot to all simples, especially because of that 7-mon. Does not go for it though.
Oh wait, on the right, pay attention.
Yeah.
Not again.
Interesting.
Not again.
Because I would
Okay,
think.
that's actually super interesting. Okay, so if it ends up being 7 pairs waiting for the Dora,
Yeah.
Aggro cannot keep closed. They have to. Oh,
This is it. This
my
is 7 pairs waiting on anything.
God.
Well, chooses with the green dragon
One
here.
cut green dragon. That's like
Oh.
the strongest weight.
Oh,
Dude, if
this
any of
is
these people draw a
spicy.
dragon, they're going to.
Oh.
Oh.
Does Nico take it? I mean, I think this is as good as Nico can do, unfortunately. That might... Will Fierce
I
win?
think that.
It's only
Oh,
no
dude,
Ura!
Ura would have been the green
No
dragon.
Ura! No Ura, I think that means Fierce wins. Because no
I think that
Ura.
means Fierce wins, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Nico just taking
That's
that hand there. And
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think that's a fair. Wait, sorry, I can't do the math.
So Fierce
60...
is plus 41, so Fierce got 62.7. 62.7 on Jackius, and over 70, so definitely past Aggro here.
Yeah. Did Fierce won?
Yeah, 62.7 should do it. If I check our previous standings here, I'll bring that up for all of you in chat. Here it was. Yeah, so 62.7 is like just barely enough to pass. Fierce with a come from behind sneak
we literally
victory.
just had the freaking wave with the catapult.
Yeah.
That's why he runs back into first.
Right, by like 2 points. It's the same thing. Fierce. What a victory. Now,
Actually, Victory Royale, that's a way to end your competitive Mahjong career. First place in AnimEVO. You not many people can lay claim to that.
Only one person can lay claim to that right now. This is our first tournament. All right,
I meant like coming first in a tournament as an end of your competitive career.
Okay,
It's something
I
not many people can lay
understand.
claim to. But yeah, congrats to Fierce. That's amazing.
Let me see. I believe.
I mean, I hope I didn't do the math wrong, but I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Did I do it right? The final standings. There it is. Fierce on top by just under 4 points.
Wow, that's amazing. Awesome job from Fierce. Congratulations.
What a move. Let's see. Man, that was just a crazy match.
I'm shell shocked. I'm so confused right now. That was. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Yeah, congrats to
goodness.
Fierce. They. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and that was a match with a Suanko, and Fierce didn't even get the Suanko.
Oh god.
Just a crazy match right there. Like, it was amazing, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to
can't-
analyze
I
it.
can't
It
think.
came down to
I
the
can't
end.
think.
And like even dealing in at the very end, right? It was just small enough that Fierce stayed in first. If that had been, as we said, 4 points bigger, right? One Uradora wouldn't have been enough. But if it had been 2 Uradora, that would have been the 4 points needed
Mm.
to to score the victory there for Jackius. Really, that's Mahjong, right? It can go either way, any way until South 4. Some people say all last is just the beginning, right?
Yeah, that was pretty nifty, and yeah. I have nothing to say. That was I don't think I can say anything that properly encapsulates what just happened.
Yeah, so if we look at what we have here, so Fierce, the proud new owner of 5 summon scrolls and 50,000 coppers, courtesy of YoStar and Cat Food Studios. Jackius taking the 20,000 coppers there. Aggro coming through with 15,000, and Nico won't rounding us off with 10,000 coppers. We've got prizes for everyone in our final table. Thanks to all the other players for participating as well. We had a great time this tournament. It was definitely a big surprise when I first found out Mahjong Soul was added to the AnimEVO list, and it wasn't something I was expecting at all. You know, the previous commentators, Frenetic and DDR Dan, were like, Frenetic, it was like a dream come true. The crossover between his FGC and Mahjong life, and it was so unexpected. And we had some great matches, especially the finals. Both finals matches had something to offer. We had a match going into top 8 from top 32 that wasn't crazy. Aggro's massive comeback. We had a match from the scramble coming into the top 32. Fierce with 100,000 points in the last game. But Jay, I do have to ask you one thing that we've gotten from all the commentators that we haven't gotten from you. How did you start playing Mahjong?
I started in second year uni, just sort of running in to Hong Kong Mahjong, and then I sort of was upstairs in the food court, and then I saw a Mahjong club open up, and I'm like, oh, let's just go in and see what this is about. And many years later, I'm very very addicted. It was very much just a chance to run in with the club, and just got into it.
So we've gotten 4 people, 4 very different stories. Me running into Mahjong at an arcade, one of those old arcade games. Frenetic running to Mahjong at an anime convention. We've got DDR Dan, running into Mahjong, I guess not literally, because his was a sort of online experience. He came through it through an actual anime. He was watching Saki and Akagi, and that's what brought him in. And now we have J-Cakes coming into it from the university, representing, 4 different walks of life, all brought to Mahjong. And I hope we can bring all of you in chat to Mahjong as well. Mahjong Soul,
absolutely.
English client here, easy to play, multiple other clients out there, and now we have a link into EVO as well. And you can see the games can be just as exciting as any other game we've been running at EVO. And you have Daigo and Bon-chan and Fudo also supporting Mahjong. Ever since Daigo started moving to streaming, he started to stream a lot more Mahjong. I wonder why. But I will leave you guys with that. I would like to thank you all for coming. I would like to thank the AnimEVO staff for helping us put this together. The TO, Zan, Q as assistant TO. We've got Aaron Lied running the technical behind the scenes. We've got, myself, Frenetic, DDR Dan, J Cakes, on the other stream, Panda Pfizer, Carrot Parfait, Shinky commentating for you. We've got what else do we got? Our chat mods, Experimilk, Withheld, SBT, and our prizes rewarded by Yostar and Cat Food Studios. So I think I caught everyone. I'd like to thank the players and viewers as well, as we've been saying multiple times, helping to run a great event. The tournament lobby is 269607. If you are looking for specific logs, if you are looking for any logs from the game, you can go into Mahjong Soul tournament lobby ID 269607. The VODs will be up on YouTube soon. Already the Scramble VOD is up. And even earlier than that, they'll be on mine and Panda Pfizer's Twitch. So that rounds out the tournament here. Again, I'll bring up the standings for, I don't know why you'd just be tuning in now. You missed a massive show, but this is how it all turned out, with Furious making the huge comeback in the very last game. And we will be signing out. Again, thanks to everyone. And do you have any shout outs, J Cakes, before we head out?
Shout out to the players in the top 4. Good work, you guys. That was a really close one. Lots of big hype events for us, especially because, Suanko and all. Yeah, and shout out to the viewers. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch Mahjong. Hopefully this has brought you guys motivation to play your own ladder games. But either or, me and Tips are definitely glad to have your company.
All right, this is Tips and Jay signing out. Hopefully see you next year.